It's Friday night, and that can mean only one thing, that it's football time in South Louisiana. So gather the family, gather the friends. It's Friday Night Live on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Put on your team colors, come join the crowd. Turn on Cox 4, crank it up loud. You got the Game of the Week under the lights. Louisiana football Friday Night Live. High school spirit, football rivals. The road to the dome, it's a fight for survival. Cox 4 Game of the Week under the lights. Louisiana football Friday Night Live. High school spirit, football rivals. The road to the dome, it's a fight for survival. Cox 4 Game of the Week under the lights. Louisiana football Friday Night Live. Cox 4 Game of the Week under the lights. Louisiana football Friday Night Live. Cox 4 Game of the Week Friday Night Live. Woo! Yeah!
Welcome to the frozen swamp of Cajun Field on the campus of University of Louisiana. Semifinal football playoff action on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Two teams seeking their first ever trip to the state championship game meet as top-seeded Rummel faces the 21st-seeded Westgate Tigers from New Iberia, the Cinderella team of the Class 5A playoffs. Hello, everyone, and you can see the conditions are perfect for football. Snow falling right now on the field. Both teams have just completed their pregame or initial pregame warm-ups, and this should be a fantastic football game on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Welcome to the Farm Bureau pregame show. And Joel, the last 2 weeks we have seen some shootouts with Catholic New Iberia last week beating Redemptress in a classic game that people will be talking about for a long time. The week before that, we saw another shootout against Bogalusa. Tonight, not so much. It's all about defense.
It's all about defense tonight. Rummel Raiders come in to Lafayette with one of the best defenses, in my mind, in the state. They've only given up 7 points a game on the season. They're 13-0, and it's led by their defense. In 9 of their games this year, they've allowed the opposing offense less than 100 yards per game. That's rushing and passing combined. So that'll tell you right there that we're not going to see a 50-47 shootout like we did last week with the Catholic New Iberia team. But tonight it's going to be defense, defense, and more defense. And this weather, Jeff, will also be a factor in this football game. Snow, this is something these kids have probably never played in their life. And it's going to be wet, it's going to be rainy, and it could be a lot of turnovers. We'll just have to see.
If we see more than 3 touchdowns in this game, I'll be surprised. That's how good these two defenses are. But we'll see how it all unfolds over the next couple of hours. Let's take a look at the other 5A matchup. The winner of tonight's contest will take on the winner of the Catholic Baton Rouge West Monroe game. Catholic has never defeated West Monroe. This will be the 5th meeting between these two teams. And you also look at the Catholic Bears. They needed 5 turnovers from Acadiana last week to advance to the semifinals. And Catholic, they have not looked very impressive. I mean, they've won. They're in the semifinals. I don't want to say they haven't looked impressive, but they've won all 3 games in the playoffs by less than 7 points. Looking at our 4A matchups tonight as we take a look at the other semifinal contest, we have Salmon, the 5th seed, taking on Franklinton. Franklinton averaging 50 points during the playoffs. They beat Salmon earlier this year, 20-14 in overtime. And then the other matchup, and Joe, I know you're a big fan of Lutcher. They got a tough test tonight against Neville, who is looking for its first trip to the Dome in 14 years.
This is the best Neville team that's been around in quite some time. But Lutcher is an outstanding football team. They are loaded with talent on the outside in their skill position. Their defense is playing good enough to win a championship. To me, tonight, it will be about weather. If can Lutcher, with the way they like to move the ball down the field in the air, how will the weather affect their passing game? Will it be too much? Will it eliminate the speed, which to me is their advantage? So Lutcher's going to have a tough test tonight against a great team in Neville. They've got their hands full.
Neville had a hard time beating Northside last week, and congratulations to the Vikings And Coach Vince Duran on a great season. He nearly pulled off the upset last week against Neville. We're going to take our first break on the Farm Bureau pregame show. When we come back, we'll talk about the matchups in Single A, Double A, and Triple A, including what should be a barn burner between Notre Dame and Catholic of New Iberia. You're watching the Farm Bureau pregame show on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Traveling the road of auto insurance can be tricky. And when all signs point to no, one sign points to yes. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we're here to help you with life's twists and turns. With affordable auto insurance rates and dependable local service, Farm Bureau can make sure you're on the right track. Because life doesn't come with directions. We can show you the way. Farm Bureau Insurance, your life made simpler.
I'm all about being close to the things that I love. My friends, my phone, and definitely my milk. Which is why I'm all about Borden. It's made locally in my hometown and close to yours. That means I don't have to drive very far. Which is good for the planet and even better for the taste buds. Being close means it's super fresh and seriously delicious. Tell Mom to look for Elsie. Hey, if it's Borden, it's got to be good.
Come shoot for savings at Sterling Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Opelousas for great deals like these. Take $7,000 off an 09 Jeep Wrangler. How about all 09 Dodge Chargers and all 09 Chrysler 300, $7,000 off. An 09 Dodge Ram 1500 Crew Cab, $12,000 off. And an 09 Dodge Ram Heavy Duty 2500, $13,000 off. So don't let them stuff you like a turkey. Come to Sterling and Opelousas for a feast of savings.
Raising Cane's box combo, please.
Good call.
You think?
You bet. Cane's chicken fingers are always fresh, never ever frozen.
Really?
Marinated for 24 hours, hand battered and breaded, and cooked to order.
Man, that does sound good. You must really love Cane's.
Doesn't everyone? Raising Cane's chicken fingers.
Thanks. You sure are good at this.
Hey, it's my dream job.
If you're looking for the skinny on high-def flat-screen TVs, come to AVI. For advice on Dolby Digital surround sound system,
Trust AVI.
mobile electronics and custom boxes,
Again, it's AVI.
even phone and surveillance systems.
Come to AVI.
And if you really don't know what he wants,
AVI's gift cards are your answer.
that's AVI, professionally installing technology in Acadiana for 20 years.
Off Ambassador.
Between Sam's and Walmart.
Snowy night in Lafayette as we continue with the Farm Bureau pregame show. Jeff Palermo along with Joel Davis. Bobby Taylor, our sideline reporter, who will have a challenge in trying to stay warm tonight, will join us.
He forgot his raincoat.
Well, he didn't bring his snow jacket either, so he's really out of luck. But he'll be joining us a little bit later on in the broadcast. Let's continue taking a look at some of the other semifinal matchups. And, of course, the game that we're really interested in 3A. The Notre Dame Pioneers, the top seed, which got past Rayville last week, taking on Catholic New Iberia.
I'm going to call an upset right now. Catholic New Iberia is playing better than they've played in years. They're led by an outstanding quarterback, Bullock, and he is throwing touchdowns, but he's not just throwing touchdowns. He's known for a big arm, but throughout the playoffs, he's been using his legs to dominate opposing defenses. Ask Redemptorist. They went down in a tough battle last week, and it was all about Bullock. He put everything on his shoulder, and tonight Notre Dame, with the outstanding linebacker core and DJ Welter and Hunter Stover, they're going to have their hands full. Now, Bullock hasn't seen a defense that's quite as good as Notre Dame's this year, but I'm going to pull the upset right now. It's going to come down to a field goal. Give it to the Quinlan kid, the kicker, who's been lights out lately within the playoffs with onside kicks, extra points. He hasn't missed anything except for one kick that was very tough in tough conditions. Tonight, I call an upset. Catholic New Iberia wins by a field goal. The Quinlan kid pulls it off.
I think you hit on it, though. The matchup in that game is Bullock against Notre Dame's linebackers.
Well, that's where Redemptor struggled all last week, was against their linebackers. Their outstanding linebacker was out of that football game tonight. The two outstanding linebackers for Notre Dame are playing tonight. DJ Welter, an LSU commitment. Hunter Stover, who's an outstanding football player. He's going to have his hands full. I'm speaking of Bullock, trying to do a little zone read and rushing the football. And tonight's not going to be easy to throw the ball, so it's going to be a great matchup. We'll see what happens.
The other semifinal matchup in 3A has the 3rd seed, E.D. White, taking on the 2nd seed, Parkview Baptist. Parkview Baptist looking for its 3rd state championship. Now on to Class 2A. This is going to be an excellent matchup here. You see all the top 4 seeds are still alive. John Curtis against St. Charles. Curtis won earlier this season over St. Charles by the final score of 19-18. The other 2A matchup, Capital makes the long trip up to Evangel. Evangel averaging 54 points a game. Capital, its only loss against Central this season. That could be, a lot of points could be scored in that game.
Well, and you got to look at the weather, though. How will the weather affect these two teams throwing the football? Both of them have outstanding passing attacks. I just think that Capital has an edge, believe it or not, because they are capable of rushing the football. They have an outstanding running back, and it's not just the Broadway show. They've got a great running back there. They can lean on him, so if the passing attack becomes difficult, and Evangel, you know they're going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to throw the ball. They have everything is really quick and hitting the ball, but they do go down the field quite a bit. 54 points a game. If they score 54 points tonight in this weather, I'd be incredibly amazed. Because that'll tell you how good they really are.
Weather might not be as bad up in Shreveport, but it's going to be cold and windy.
It's going to be cold and windy.
It's going to be cold and windy. Our 1A matchups, again, the top 4 seeds in single A, they have all made it to the semifinals. St. John against Haynesville. And then a game that I'm really interested in, Oak Grove versus South Plaquemine. South Plaquemine, they have won the state championship the last 2 seasons. Oak Grove is a pretty good team, and they may be able to go down to South Plaquemines and pull off the upset. But St. John, their only loss going back to the other semifinal game was to Dutchtown. So that's a 1A team. The only loss was to a 5A school. And Haynesville has a long history of playing in the Superdome, making long runs in the playoffs. That should be a fantastic game. Our crew in Baton Rouge has that contest. We're going to take a break on the Farm Bureau pregame show, and when we come back, we'll talk more about our 2 teams tonight. First, we'll break down the top seed in 5A, the 13-0 Rummel Raiders. You're watching the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
It's the Tri-State Rodeo Finals at Lamar-Dixon Expo Center, Friday, December 11th and Saturday, December 12th, 7 o'clock p.m., featuring the best of the best in bull riding, bronc riding, pretty girls in the barrel racing, Las Vegas-style rodeo here at Tri-State Rodeo, featuring NFR qualifiers Frank Graves, Jenna Gyro, and Cody Casto. Cody Morgan and Dusty Purvis fighting out to be the TSRA all-around cowboy. There'll be a special cancer services of Baton Rouge Stick Horse Rodeo on Saturday at 4 o'clock p.m. Tickets at the door. Tri-State Rodeo, Lamar-Dixon, December 11th and 12th. See you there, partner!
Hello, I'm Eric Edwards with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out now what's going on in Livingston Parish. We have over 400 nautical miles of waterways. Tee it up at our great world-renowned golf courses. Shop at our antique districts, or come to Bass Pro, our #1 retailer. There's a lot to do in Livingston Parish that you never imagined. It's all happening right here in Livingston Parish. For more information, go online at visitlivingstonparish.com.
Folks, I'm Buddy Caldwell, your Attorney General. I've joined forces with your good contractors and the Better Business Bureau for a few storm damage tips. Get a written contract, there's a good one on our website, and proof of their insurance. Take pictures of your damage. And finally, have materials delivered to your job site, not the contractor's shop. For further information, go to agbuddycaldwell.com.
Acadiana Trophies, locally owned and operated since 1977. We're not just a trophy shop. We offer computerized and laser engraving, monogramming, glass engraving, wedding and Mardi Gras gifts, plaques, acrylic awards, medals, trophies, electrical and offshore tags, picture plaques, ribbons, sport, church, and school awards, family reunion items, t-shirts, caps, cups, koozies, and much more. We are dedicated to giving you only the highest quality and service. Our staff is professionally trained to help you in whatever your award needs may be. Acadiana Trophy.
Well, the Rummel Raiders trying to stay warm down on the field as the snow continues to fall at Cajun Field on the campus of the University of Louisiana. Jeff Palermo and Joel Davis back on the Farm Bureau pregame show. Semifinal action. Glad you could join us. If you weren't able to make it out to the game, this should be a fabulous game. Great defense, and the Rummel Raiders are the definition of a great defensive team. They're not going to score many points, but defensively, they have carried this team all season long.
Yeah.
13 wins, which ties the school record for Rummel.
Well, when your offense is only averaging 18 points per game, you're going to have to lean on that defense. It's led by Carvin Johnson, an outstanding free safety who is committed to the University of Michigan. That'll tell you right there the guy can play some football. He loves to hit, and he'll knock you out tonight. I have a feeling he's going to be eyeballing Deontay Spencer, the starting quarterback for the Westgate Tigers. I think that's going to be a one-on-one matchup between him and Deontay, so he'll be targeting him. He's got the range, sideline to sideline speed, so he'll be able to follow Deontay all over the field. This is a team that has won nine of their games. They've been less than 7 points or less. So they're familiar with close matchups, and when the game comes down to the end and it's a tight ball game, their defense tends to step up. They've got 3 games where a turnover ended the game.
Yeah.
A turnover, interceptions at the end of games to just seal it and ice it. So tonight you got to expect a little bit of the same.
Their first playoff game against Captain Shreve, 1 versus 32 seed. Usually you win by 30 points and you get ready for the second round. They won 10-3 over Captain Shreve. That tells you the type of games that Rummel has played all season long, but it's been very effective as they are 13-0. Earlier tonight, our sideline reporter, Bobby Taylor, had a chance to talk with the Raiders head football coach, Jay Roth.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, Coach Ross, semifinals, what more do you need to say, right?
We could have a foot of snow on the ground. It doesn't matter. It's semifinals. Everybody's excited to be here tonight.
Okay, do you think that the weather conditions being as rare as they are tonight, is that going to affect your team or your game plan tonight?
I believe a lot of teams have played in wet weather all season. We got a great playing surface. I think it's going to be all right.
Okay, and like we said, semifinals, so I'm pretty sure the kids are going to be jacked up, but also they're playing in UL Stadium. That's not an every game situation.
No, big time atmosphere tonight. You know, when this game's over tonight, somebody's going to the state finals for the first time in school history. You know, neither of us have been there, so it's pretty big for both of us.
Well, tell me something, Coach. I'm pretty sure you focused on Westgate all week. What worries you about Westgate tonight?
Well, we played them about 4 years ago when Coach Fahn was there. They're a very, very strong defensive team. And I worry about them just lining up toe-to-toe and running the ball at us 3 and 4 yards a shot. That's what I'm worried about.
Any team is worried when the quarterback is also a running threat, just like you have also. You think practicing against that same thing in practice, does that help you guys prepare more for this game?
Well, we'll face a quarterback like Spencer, but, you know, he's a special guy. You know, he'll just sit back there and wait for things to open up, so hopefully we can contain him.
All right, well, Coach, you have a task on your hands tonight. I'm pretty sure Westgate does too. Good luck in the game.
Thank y'all, guys.
Back to you, Jeff.
All right, thanks, Bobby, as the snow flurries continue to fall here at Cajun Field. And, Joe, I don't think I've ever seen this before, a semifinal game. Well, I've never seen snow played during a Louisiana high school football game. That's first of all.
Neither have I.
Second of all, I don't think I ever recall seeing in a semifinal game, a freshman quarterback starting, and that's what Rummel has here tonight in Damian Williams.
Well, Luke Cartuzzo, who was a starting quarterback originally, had an outstanding season. He was threw for over 500 yards, had over 5 touchdowns coming into the 8th game of the season, hurts his knee, he goes down, then they have to bring in a freshman. They have to bring in someone that's talented enough to at least score some points, and Damian is a fantastic quarterback. Damian Williams has been able to put his offense on his lead. I mean, when you have a struggling offensive line, and Rummel, let's be honest, has had a struggling offensive line this year, and to have to protect a freshman quarterback, you got to be a little nervous going into a football game when you got a freshman quarterback at any level that's going to have to lead your team. You know you have a championship caliber team when your defense is as good as they are. But you know what? Williams has stepped up to the plate all season long. He's got 3 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions passing the football, and that is that is so critical. He's had over 70 attempts, but only 2 interceptions. Just a freshman, ladies and gentlemen. So when you watch him tonight, keep that in mind. That is a big-time step for that young man.
And Rummel is also coming off probably its best game of the season, a win over Hahnville in the quarterfinals, 24-7. We'll take another break on the Farm Bureau pregame show, and when we come back, we'll talk about the Westgate Tigers making another strong push in the playoffs. This time they're hoping to reach the dome. You're watching the Cox 4 Game of the Week Farm Bureau pregame show.
A woman's life never stands still. So we're reaching out to provide unmatched care for women in all the places your life takes you. Oxnard Women, 7 hospitals and over 35 health centers, working together to provide specialized care for every age, stage, and condition of a woman's life. From New Orleans and Baton Rouge to the North Shore and the Bayou, Oxnard Women, everywhere you need us.
Desire, determination, dedication, discipline. No matter your age or your sport, USNA will make you stronger, faster, and more flexible. Your coaches will love it because they know you play like you train. Train like the pros. United States Sports Training Academy and Hyperbaric Therapy. Pico Lane in Baton Rouge.
The Bluffs Country Club in St. Francisville is open and better than ever. Come play Arnold Palmer's Masterpiece, the #1 course in Louisiana for 2009. Lightning fast greens, lush fairways, and sugar white bunkers await. Memberships now available. Stay and play packages available as well at our on-site hotel, The Lodge at the Bluffs. For tee times or more information, call 225-634-5757. The Bluffs Country Club. Golf the way it was meant to be played.
People look up to our craftsmanship, Grips Incorporated. People look up to our roofing, we craft each job with care. Shingles, metal, slate, or tile, the quality's beyond compare. Raise your standards, set 'em high. You choose Grips, and here is why. People look up to our craftsmanship, Grips Incorporated.
If you're looking for the skinny on high-def flat-screen TVs, come to AVI. For advice on Dolby Digital surround sound systems, trust AVI. Mobile electronics and custom boxes, again, it's AVI. Even phone and surveillance systems, come to AVI. And if you really don't know what he wants, AVI's gift cards are your answer. That's AVI, professionally installing technology in Acadiana for 20 years. Off Ambassador, between Sears and Walmart.
We're back at the frozen swamp at Cajun Field. Jeff Palermo along with Joel Davis on the Farm Bureau pregame show for semifinal action on the Cox Ford Game of the Week. Rummel versus Westgate, and Frosty the Snowman is in attendance for tonight's football game. As you see the frozen rain, half snow coming down on the ground right now.
Is that a snowman?
That is a snowman. You
Wow.
don't see too many of them, and that's a very nice snowman as well. Happy holidays, everyone, as we're back on the Cox Ford Game of the Week. The Westgate Tigers, Joel.
Yeah.
They finish off the regular season. They lose 2 in a row. They lose to St. Thomas More, and then they lose to Como. 5-4. They're the 21st seed in the 5A. Yeah, maybe they'll get past Mandeville, but they're not going to get past South Lafourche. Well, here they are, semifinals once again.
Well, you look at their record; they're only 8-4 in the regular season, and they come into the playoffs, and you don't think that Westgate's going to go very far because they did end the season on 2 losses. But you look at their season and who they played; they had a tough schedule, a tough go of it. I mean, listen to these teams: Breaux Bridge, Patterson, Shaw, Eunice, Northside, St. Thomas More, and Como. Those are the teams that they had to play. All those teams were in the playoffs, and they fared very, very well against those teams. They beat Breaux Bridge at the time, was ranked number 2 in the state. They lost to Patterson, and they come back and they beat Shaw. Then you talk about this matchup tonight between Westgate, and then this is how Westgate has to look at it. Hey, who is this team Rummel? How can we compete against them? Well, look at the common opponents. Both of these teams have played a couple of teams, Mandeville and Shaw. Westgate and Rummel beat them both. However, if you're Westgate and you're one of those young guys and you start looking at the score, well, Mandeville, Westgate beat them 21-14, Rummel 14-10. And then you look at the Shaw matchup. Westgate beat them 18-14, and Rummel 18-17. So you got to feel pretty good for about yourself if you're Westgate coming in this game. This is on your turf in Lafayette, or near your turf, New Iberia, obviously Westgate, but this is a home game. And you're a good matchup for this team. This is a dominant defensive game tonight, and it's going to be a great one.
Let's hear from Coach Brian Fine. Our sideline reporter Bobby Taylor caught up with him just a few minutes ago.
All right, well, thanks, Jeff. Coach Fine, coming into this game, it's semifinals. the winner goes on to the state championship. I'm pretty sure that's motivation enough for you guys tonight, right?
Oh, it is. Our kids are excited, and this is probably one of the best nights of football during the high school football season.
All right, Coach. You playing a opponent that hasn't lost the game all season. You guys, I think, have lost 4. Is that something you kind of cautioned your team about going into this game?
It's nothing we talked about. At this level, everybody's, at this time of the year, everybody's pretty even. It's just, just a matter of lining up, playing the game.
All right. Tell me specifically, I guess, what do you have to key on tonight to make sure that you stop Rummel and get to the victory?
Well, I think the keys are the same for both teams. We got to stop the run, and we have to be able to run the football.
Conditions so far tonight, I'm pretty sure, are going to contribute to the ball being ran even more. I guess will the pass be almost like a second thought or afterthought, or how are you guys plan to play that?
I don't know. I mean, it just depends on what the circumstances are. What kind of ball we can get in the game. But I think we're definitely talking about a field position game.
You recently had your team in the semifinals, but it wasn't in UL Stadium. Talk about that tonight.
Well, our field was in kind of rough shape. The big issue was parking at our stadium, and there was going to be nowhere to park, and it was going to force everybody onto the streets. And then this opportunity presented itself. We thought it was a good opportunity for our kids, and we talked about it at school and called Coach Roth, and they were willing to. So that's how we ended up here.
You said you talked about it with your kids. How have they received that?
Well, we didn't talk about it with our kids. I talked about it with our administration, and then we informed them we were going to play here.
Okay, and Coach, it's like I said, nothing more needs to be said because this is what leads you into the state championship. But talk about what this game means to the school.
Well, I think it'd be a big win for us. Our basketball team won a state title a couple years ago, and I think this would be a big win for us, big step. School's only 10 years old, and when we come out on top and get to the Superdome, it'll be a great accomplishment for this group of kids.
All right, well, thanks, Coach, and good luck in tonight's game. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, both teams opening coin toss. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, semifinal action from Cajun Field on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Damadare Interiors is the most unique furniture store in Acadiana. We offer quality, handcrafted pieces from across the globe. Come in to view our newly stocked showroom. Dining tables, TV consoles, beds, accent pieces, sofas, and so much more. Need a custom design piece? Our design team can help you create one-of-a-kind furniture that's perfect for your dream living space. For a full home decor makeover, let Damadare Interiors be your makeover destination.
Fact.
Earn more with a bachelor's degree.
Choose from 25 areas of study.
Get financial assistance.
And then
get ready for life
at Our Lady of the Lake College.
Traveling the road of auto insurance can be tricky, and when all signs point to no, one sign points to yes. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we're here to help you with life's twists and turns. With affordable auto insurance rates and dependable local service, Farm Bureau can make sure you're on the right track, because life doesn't come with directions. We can show you the way. Farm Bureau Insurance, your life made simpler.
Put on your team colors, come join the crowd. Turn on Cox 4, crank it up loud. You got the game of the week under the lights. Louisiana football Friday night live. Cox 4, game of the week under the lights. Louisiana football Friday night live. Cox 4, game of the week Friday night live.
Welcome to semifinal action at Cajun Field. Jeff Palermo, Joel Davis, and Bobby Taylor. Glad you could join us on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. The Rummel Raiders from Metairie, the top seed in Class 5A, taking on the 21st seed from 5A, the Westgate Tigers, and they kick it out of bounds on the opening kickoff of the football game. Let's see what Westgate decides to do. Looks like they're going to get their offense on the field, as they'll take it at the 35-yard line after the kick sailed out of bounds. So the Westgate Tigers offense on the field first. And Deontay Spencer, their quarterback, Rushed for 906 yards in the regular season, threw for 839 yards, had a 61-yard touchdown run last week in the win, the come-from-behind win over Central. And looks like miscommunication on the first play. Spencer will have to take it himself, and he's brought down from behind by Lance Lassiter. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by your Super Chevy dealers. First of all, for the Westgate Tigers, Spencer, Brandon Malvo, Denarius Antoine, though he is kind of the hidden secret of this offense. The top wide receiver is Jacoby Colbert, and then Reginald Charles, the senior tight end. The offensive line looks this way. Linzer Cooks, who's only a sophomore, Broussard, and Trey Pellerin. And they're going to call a 15-yard penalty against Rummel, horse collar on Deontay Spencer. So that will move the ball into Rummel territory. So a good break for the Westgate Tigers to begin this game.
No question about it. Right after a busted play, to be able to pick up positive yards after that is an outstanding thing for the Westgate offense.
So they have it 1st and 10 at the 47. Now they pitch it off, and that is Antoine, who gets shoved out of bounds after a pickup of only a couple yards, tackled on the play by Ryan McGee. There's the defensive front for the Rummel Raiders, brought to you by our Super Chevy dealers. Miles O'Brien has 11 sacks on the season. The linebackers are very good. Chris Randall, Philip Helmstetter, and then DeJuan Dunbar. And then the secondary, Joe already talked about him, Carvin Johnson, the senior. He is committed to go play football at Michigan. Keep an eye also on Lance Lassiter, number 28. 2nd down and 7 for the Westgate Tigers at the 44-yard line. Spencer keeps it, and he's going to get hammered on the play by Chris Randall. They say he was down before the ball came loose, but a big hit by Chris Randall, one of their top defensive players. It's now time to take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Home Furniture.
Well, for Rummel, they need to slow down Spencer. Deontay Spencer, an outstanding athlete, is able to run fast downfield, sideways, and north and south. Make plays on special teams. Tonight, with the weather the way it is, you've got to be able to win in the special teams department. For Westgate, win the field position battle. All playoffs long, it looks like Rummel's been playing on a short field, and grab an early lead.
3rd down and 9 on the icy turf at Cajun Field. Play action fake. Spencer in trouble, gets away from it, throws downfield, and it was almost intercepted by Carvin Johnson as the pass was behind his intended receiver, Reginald Charles, and it looks like Westgate will have to punt.
Yeah, right there. You can see how the wet weather, the wet ball will affect the pass right here. Did a little play action, roll out for Deontay Spencer, sees that he doesn't have a lane to run, so he looks downfield, looks at number 44, he's covered, and then right there he tries to hit Joseph on a crossing route, and he just was not open. And probably the best thing that happened right there was overthrowing the football.
Segan Virginal to punt it away, and it's a decent punt, and it's going to be taken by Carvin Johnson. Look out, he's got a lot of room down that far sidelines. And then he was shoved out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, actually going to mark him down at the 37.
Thought Reginald Charles was blocked in the back on that punt return.
Let's now send it over to Lee Burkeen of LA Football Magazine. All right. Well, we'll get to Lee here in a second after this 1st down play for the Rummel Raiders. Their freshman quarterback lined up, shotgun formation, and they run right up the middle, and they get nothing on the play. Let's now throw it to Lee Burkeen of LA Football Magazine.
It's speed against power. Speed, Spencer, quarterback for Westgate. He runs a 4-4 legit. They're a fast team, Westgate. Also, Rummel, great linebacking core, great defense led by Carvin Johnson, number 1 at DB, who's going to Kentucky. Back to you guys.
Don't forget to check out Lee Burkeen's show every Tuesday night live at 6:30. Shotgun formation once again here for the Rummel Raiders, and a quick pass out to Johnson. Johnson trying to get a couple blockers, and then he steered out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Only a pickup of 3 brings up 3rd down and long for the Raiders Let's take a look at their starting offensive unit, brought to you by our Super Chevy dealers, Damian Williams, Ahmad Brown, an excellent running back for them, has rushed for over 800 yards this season. A powerful fullback in Sam Barnes, Corey Murphy, Russell Zimmerman, and Garrett LaRue, the senior. The offensive line, very young, and they have struggled this season, but hoping for a good performance here tonight. Dominic Village, a sophomore, is the standout of that group, number 77. 3rd down and 8 for Rummel. Damian Williams will hand it off, and there is nothing there. Just a pile up right at the line of scrimmage as Westgate's defense comes to play on the first drive. Ahmad Brown on the carry for the Raiders. 4th down for Rummel, and here's a look at the Westgate Tigers starting front. Datron Turner, Reginald Charles, Torrance Benjamin, Duval Jackson. An excellent front four. The linebackers, Livingston, Jackson, and Sean Benjamin. And then the secondary, Torrey Wilson, Malcolm Landry, Kendrick Porter, and then the free safety, Segan Virginal. On the punt for Rummel, and they are excellent in special teams. That is Mark Raziano, who has had an excellent season this year. A high snap, has to back up on it. Luckily, he had plenty of time to boot it away. Westgate lets that fall, and then it's fielded by a Rummel player, Sorrell Grayson. Let's take a quick break on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
When you see this, you're going to save a ton of this. But you don't have much of this. So hurry to your Super Chevy dealer's giant year-end red tag event going on right now. Get $4,500 cash back on brand new Silverados and Tahoes, or get $500 cash back and get 0% for 72 months. Plus, get rock bottom red tag prices on every new Chevy at your Super Chevy dealers today.
Hand off to Brandon Malvo on the first play from scrimmage on the second drive of the night for Westgate, and he powers his way for about 3 or 4 yards. Jeremy New, a senior defensive tackle, made the stop for Rummel.
Yeah, Jeremy New, 5'11", 240 pounds, is able to man that middle, and he's been a stud all year long. He's a type of guy that when you run inside, he's going to be the first guy you meet.
2nd down and 6 for Westgate. Spencer underneath center, and they pitch it out to Antoine, and he's got some room. 45, 50, 45, it's a foot race. 30, 25, 20, tripped up from behind all the way to the 15-yard line. Chris Randall makes the touchdown-saving tackle. I told you, Denarius Antoine, he is the secret weapon of this Westgate offense.
Wow, what an outstanding run right here. Number 30 takes the hold. Great blocking out front, but check out number 41 right here, who never gives up on the play. An outstanding athlete. Chased him down from behind. Chris Randall, all district honors in 08. Pressures the quarterback well, but that right there was a game-saving tackle, because this is going to be one of those games. It's going to be low scoring. Every point counts in this football game.
Westgate inside the Red Bull red zone as they hand it off to Malvo, who moves the pile ahead for about 4 to the 11-yard line. 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, by them not scoring right there, this is where Rummel really plays well. Inside the red zone, or the Red Bull red zone, they stiffen up. Very difficult to score on them once you get down close to the end zone. They really like to tighten things up. They play very well. They're very consistent. They play their zones. They play their lanes extremely well. Westgate's going to wish that they had gotten in the end zone on that long run.
2nd down and 7. They hand it off to Malvo again, but only a couple of yards as they try that power game right at the middle of that Rummel defense. Miles O'Brien, number 31, he made the tackle. Last week, Joe Rummel only gave up 163 total yards to a very good Hanville team.
Well, and I'm sure they're shocked by Antoine's big-time run right there. It was a huge gap for him to run through, and it was a parting of the Red Sea, and he took advantage of it, ran down the field, picked up huge yards. But once again, I got to keep going back to it. What a great tackle for Rummel. Number 41, Chris Randall. That's going to come back. They're going to remember that play.
Westgate needs to call timeout on 3rd down. We'll take a quick break. 6:27 left to go in the first quarter. No score between Westgate and Rummel in the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
I'm all about being close to the things that I love. My friends, my phone, and definitely my milk. Which is why I'm all about Borden. It's made locally in my hometown and close to yours. That means they don't have to drive very far, which is good for the planet and even better for the taste buds. Being close means it's super fresh and seriously delicious. Tell Mom to look for Elsie. Hey, if it's Borden, it's got to be good.
People look up to our craftsmanship, Cribs Incorporated. People look up to our roofing. We craft each job with care. Shingles, metal, slate, or tile. The quality's beyond compare. Raise your standards, set 'em high. You'll choose Cribs, and here is why. People look up to our craftsmanship, Cribs Incorporated.
We want to welcome our Baton Rouge television audience who was watching the St. John Haynesville game. Hopefully we'll be able to get you back out to Plaquemine. But here you have Westgate versus Rummel. Spencer under immense pressure on third down, escapes a couple tackles and then gets up to the 7-yard line. And he'll be stopped short. That will set up a field goal try for Westgate. Segan Virginal, who's an excellent field goal kicker.
Right here on your Dave Madera replay, Chris Randall, again, number 41, coming in from his weak side linebacker position, making the first play on Deontay Spencer to try to string him out further to the sideline where his defending buddies are able to make a play on the football. Like I said, that whole defensive strategy there went to put when the big run. But I tell you what, Chris Randall made outstanding play after outstanding play to keep Westgate out of the end zone.
Westgate is going for it on 4th and 3 from the 7. And a handoff. Malvo puts his head down. Does he have enough? It's very close.
I think he's short, Jeff.
Let's go down to the sidelines. Bobby Taylor with the Louisiana Dairy Board sideline report. Bobby, does he have it?
Looks like he does from the spot by the official on the near sideline. Looks like they do maybe have the first down.
Now, I said that Westgate's got a good field goal kicker. Great run by Malvo there as you look at it on the Dave Madera replay. But on this icy turf, Joe, I don't know if you want to chance field goals.
Well, if he doesn't get it, they're going to wish they kicked it. If he gets it, they'll be happy. So, but let's talk about Brandon Malvo. This is a guy that's
he does. Oh, man, he just missed it by an inch. Last week, Westgate converted 4 times on 4th down against Central. That time they come inches away.
Well, let's go back. Chris Randall, number 41, the weak side linebacker, 5'10", 193 pounds, chased down Antoine earlier on the big run. And right here, number 47 sticks his head in there to slow it down. Philip Hilmstetter, he's an outstanding football player. Really likes to get after the quarterback, really filled the lane there to not allow Westgate to pick up the first down. But the MVP of that defensive series is Chris Randall, number 41.
Now Rummel, and again for our Baton Rouge television audience just joining us, as we're having technical difficulties in Plaquemine for the St. John Haynesville game. Rummel, not a very good offensive team. They win with defense, but they got a nice run there to get them out of a hole. And on the carry was J.J. Brown, a sophomore, 5'5", 153 pounds, as he picked up 8 yards off the right side.
Take an eye right here, 4-on-4. Segan Virginal right here comes in and just lays a hit on the other number 4, the Rummel 4. But all your first quarter replays are brought to you by Dave Madera, located at 610 West Pinhook in Lafayette.
2nd down and 2 for Rummel. Man in motion to the near side. And they hand it off to the tailback. Virginal gets another big hit, this time on Terrence Jones. The ball may have came loose. They're going to say he was down, though, on the play.
Man, I tell you what, Virginal came to play some football tonight. He is laying the wood. Look at it. He likes the snow. He came in, he was split out wide on the wide receiver, and then slowly moved in. He slowly moved in as the cadence moved closer to the snap, and he blitzed on the play. He blitzed on the play, and that's why he was able to get there and lay the lumber.
But it's a first down for Jay Roth and company and the Rummel Raiders. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line after the run by the freshman, Terrence Jones. Brown gets a carry, and he is eliminated on the play. Coming in and making a big hit was the junior linebacker, Sean Benjamin, a loss of 4 on the play.
Yeah, Torrance Benjamin, number 90, cleans it up. Right here, you can see a little play action to the right, hands to the left, and right there, look at Benjamin. Although he didn't get the first hit on him, he came in and cleaned it up. Outstanding football player, defensive tackle. What a big dude.
Second down and 14. This Westgate defense only allowing 17 points a game, and they have only allowed 146 rushing yards throughout the playoffs. Williams in shotgun formation, and they hand it off, and again that purple swarm defense comes up and lays another lick. Number 43 that time for Westgate, and we don't have a 43 on our roster. We'll have to send Bobby to try to find out who that is, but that may have been Datron Turner if I had a guess.
Well, right there, Ahmad Brown trying to go up the middle, nothing there, so he tries to sneak to the outside a little bit, and there you are. Number 43 was waiting for him. And Rummel's having a hard time running the football so far. They've had a couple of successful plays, but other than that, most of it's been for negative.
Well, this is another reason why I think Brian Fine went for it on fourth down here. He knows Rummel's not going to go 95 yards on his defense. And they hand it off. They play it safe with J.J. Brown, and Brown gets upended, gets back to where the line of scrimmage was when they picked up the first down, and that will bring in the punt team. So the Raiders get one first down to move their offense away from the end zone, but Westgate will still end up with good field position.
So far, so much for Westgate. What they're doing is they're cleaning those lanes up. They're not letting them rush inside, and they're flushing them out to the sideline. And right here, check out Livingston come in and clean it up. Malcolm Landry, the corner, come in to clean it up again. They're really playing team defense so far. They're sending them to they're making their friends help them, but they're not letting them run up the middle, so they're able to shut those lanes down in the sidelines.
Low line drive kick to Dante Spencer as they kick away from him. It takes a Rummel roll all the way to the 35-yard line is where it will finally stop. We want to welcome some of our sponsors of the Cox Forward Game of the Week, U.S. Marine Corps, and also Farm Bureau Insurance. And for our viewers in New Orleans that have a chance to watch tonight's game, you'll have next season, Cox plans on having a Game of the Week like we've been doing in Baton Rouge and Lafayette every year now. Here in Lafayette for 4 years, Baton Rouge for several years now, over a decade of high school football. So get ready, Cox customers in the New Orleans area. You'll have your own local game next year to look forward to in the fall on Fridays. Pitch out on 1st and 10, and nothing happening that time for Antoine, who broke off that long run on the last drive for Westgate.
So far, what I've noticed the most in this football game is just how physical both football teams are. A lot of speed for Rummel on the defensive side of the football. What they have to be worried about tonight, does Westgate have the speed on offense that can match them? I haven't seen the speed on Rummel's offense to stay with Westgate's defense, but I think the advantage so far right now is Westgate. They do have the speed to compete against an outstanding Rummel defense.
Second down and 7. Malvo the fullback, Antoine the tailback, 4 down defensive lineman for Rummel. Play action fake. Spencer rolling out, and he keeps it, and he gets close to the first down marker, and looks like he does have the first down before a couple of Rummel defenders wrap him up, including Chris Randall was in on the tackle for the Raiders.
Well, Deontay Spencer, a lot of no confidence right now in his passing, because he had Fred Joseph wide open down the field, and I know he spotted him. There was no way he didn't see him. He just didn't. There you can see Joseph sitting in the middle of the field wide open, had his hand sticking straight up in the air as he was going away from him. But with this weather, the conditions, the wet football, Spencer said, I'm not going to throw it. I'm not going to take a chance and pick up positive yards myself. Get the first down.
1st and 10 at the 46 as we're underneath the 1 minute to go in the first quarter. They run up hard with Malvo, and I tell you, he's a tough guy to bring down. Malvo missed the first 5 games of the season. Still ended up rushing for 680 yards during the regular season. 9 touchdowns, had 2 touchdowns last week, including 76 yards against Central.
Yeah, just right up the middle. Nothing fancy about it. He's just running people over. He just puts his head down, puts his shoulders down, and runs through the middle of a very good Rummel defense.
Could be the last play of the first quarter on the Cox Forward Game of the Week. which is brought to you by the U.S. Marine Corps. 2nd down and 5, handoff to Malvo, and Malvo wrapped up and brought down. That will be the final play of the first quarter. And as we expected, hard hitting, a lot of defense, and it's going to be whoever can probably get into the end zone the first time might win this football game. No score from Cajun Field on the Cox Sport Game of the Week.
Traveling the road of auto insurance can be tricky, and when all signs point to no, one sign points to yes. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we're here to help you with life's twists and turns. With affordable auto insurance rates and dependable local service, Farm Bureau can make sure you're on the right track, because life doesn't come with directions. We can show you the way. Farm Bureau Insurance, your life made simpler.
Aerial Access Equipment has been serving Louisiana, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and Southeast Texas since 1998. Our trained sales staff has the expertise necessary to ensure our customers get the right piece of equipment for the job at competitive rental rates. Need help with choosing the right machine for the job? We'll come to your job site and recommend the right machine to meet your needs. Remember, quality, reliability, safety. Aerial Access Equipment, your aerial work platform and forklift specialist.
Second quarter of action for the Rummel Raiders and the Westgate Tigers. Rummel the top seed in 5A, Westgate the number 21 seed. Both of these teams looking for their first trip to the state championship game.
Yeah, these teams met up in 06 or 07. Rummel beat Westgate in the playoffs, so that's a little payback possibly for Westgate, what they're thinking.
3rd down and 3. Malvo the tailback. And they hand it off to him off the left side. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, and slips through for a first down. Let's head down to the sidelines. Bobby Taylor joins us for a Louisiana Dairy Board sideline report.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, Joe, you talked about it early in that first quarter. When Westgate's dropping back, they're not looking to throw downfield. Well, I can tell you what, during warm-ups, they weren't doing a very good job throwing the ball then. So maybe that's something they talked about in the locker room before coming out. Also, you look at the field, it's very hard, compact. It's like a sheet of ice out here. So watch for when guys get to the corner, maybe trying to make a cutback. Hopefully they won't slip and fall. Just keep an eye on those conditions.
Yeah, it does look like a sleet of ice. Looks like you need the Zamboni machine out there to clean it up a little bit. Spencer gets cleaned up on the play by a couple of Rummel defenders. Lance Lassiter and Carvin Johnson, the defensive secondary, converge on the tackle on Spencer.
Yeah, that's your first look at Carvin Johnson in this football game. A little play action, design run for Spencer, but check out Carvin Johnson to come in and just
textbook.
Yeah, he's really fantastic football player. He's got great size, 6'1", 190 pounds, and he's going to get bigger and he's going to get stronger. And he's a guy that could possibly start as a freshman.
2nd down and 8. Rich Rodriguez can use all the help he can get. Malvo, big hole, and just got tripped up by Johnson at the 28-yard line, but there is a flag on the play, and let's see what that's all about. It would be our first penalty of the night. Our officiating crew is from Shreveport, and our head official, Johnny Burr, tells us it's holding against Westgate.
Yeah, unfortunate for Westgate, because that's a big play, and Carvin Johnson is showing again that he's an outstanding football player making that tackle.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
You know, Westgate earlier had an opportunity to score on a touchdown in the first quarter. Were not able to do it. Went for it on 4th down inside their own 10-yard line. You can see.
There's the hold.
Yeah, you saw it right there. But
74.
But you know, this is an outstanding football team. You know, right now I have a feeling Westgate's a little shocked at the team speed on offense that Westgate has. This is a team that's been up and down all season long offensively. They have explosive games, and they have games where they kind of disappear. Well, tonight, they look like they've come to play.
They've had a lot of injuries on this offensive unit, which has kept them down. Spencer looking deep now, throws it. There's a flag down, and I'm not sure exactly what that's all about. Is the nearest intended receiver was Denarius Antoine.
Illegal contact would to me could possibly be what it was, because he looked like he was wanting to throw the football and he didn't like what he saw. Illegal man downfield.
How do you like that call, Joe
Davis? Completely freaking wrong. Completely wrong.
It's not the first time you've been wrong this season.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It wouldn't be Cox 4 game of the week without me being a little wrong at least once in a while.
Well, what a night for football, though, Joe. We've kind of commented on it a little bit. I mean, this is who would have thought?
This is outstanding.
Let's hear from Johnny Bird.
Ineligible downfield on the offense. Penalties decline. Third down.
Tell you this, if we get a shot of the Rummel, and again, we're at Cajun Field, so it's kind of hard to judge maybe crowd size, but I would say that is still 3 times as many people that I thought would be here from Rummel. They have brought a lot of people, and Westgate has brought a good crowd too. A lot of their crowd is underneath the bleachers trying to stay dry.
Well, Rummel had 7,000 people at their game last week.
Yeah.
Not quite 7,000 tonight, but a lot.
3rd down and 14. They play it safe with the pitch to Malvo. Malvo shakes a couple tacklers, gets into the clear, very close to a first down, and he's got it.
He absolutely has it. And Malvo's come to play some football. And you mentioned it earlier. This is a guy that missed 5 games early in the season. Right now, he's close to 700. Coming into this game, he's close to 700 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns. This is a guy that runs the ball inside, can run it outside with his teams, with his speed. But first and foremost, he likes to bang skulls. He likes to go inside and look for those linebackers and try to lay them out.
There's the Rummel faithful that have made the trip up from Metairie, and hopefully they'll be able to get home okay tonight. The traveling conditions are not going to be pretty. As you take a look at that field there, Joel, just ice all over the place.
I think he's got it.
As they have to bring the sticks all the way from the other. I don't know why the football is all the way on the – I mean, he was tackled in the middle of the field unless I missed something. I don't know how the football ended up over there. There's Brian Fine in the beige hood.
Over there.
First down.
It's amazing. Isn't it not amazing how good my eyes are?
Oh, that's unbelievable.
we're at Cajun Field, so we're pretty high up.
Now there's the smart Westgate fans underneath these stands. Trying to stay out of the snow, but how many times in your lifetime in Louisiana, especially South Louisiana, that you're going to be able to watch a game in snow?
I don't know, but right now I'm watching a game at Cajun Field. I'm watching a bunch of fleas down there with jerseys.
We're way up here.
We can't see a thing. Lucky I can call the game.
It's a blizzard up here. Down there it's just a little snow flurry. First down and 10 for the Westgate Tigers at the Rummel 33-yard line. And they go with Malvo again. Why not? Why stop that?
He's a beast.
And he picks up 5 more yards. Jeremy New in on the stop. I tell you what, Joel, in a game like this, you better make sure you wrap up because one missed tackle is going to lead to a big play.
Well, and not only that, wrap up because if you just kind of like reach out and to touch someone and you don't really try to take them down, if you touch someone and you don't wrap up, it's going to take that hump of skin off.
Yeah.
It's so cold down there, your skin is not going to stay on.
2nd down and 5. I formation, Malvo. They give it to Antoine up the middle, and he maybe a yard or 2. Miles O'Brien in on the stop. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, if the viewers are as confused as possibly you were, well, what I mean is when you wrap up, you take a direct hit.
Yeah.
When you don't wrap up, you take these grazing hits. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where the skin goes flying. I would rather take a direct hit in this type of weather than a grazing hit because I like to keep my skin intact.
I understand. And on a cold night like tonight, man, you rather take the full hit than a minor hit because the minor hit's going to hurt worse.
Absolutely.
3rd and 5. Pitch out to Malvo. Malvo's got a hole and a first down. Wrapped up and thrown down by Carvin Johnson, who has come to play tonight. But Malvo, he is getting some room to run, and he is been able to move the chains for Westgate.
He's hitting the hole hard, and the thing is, the key word there is the hole. Look at the size of the hole he's able to go through, and the first person that meets him is Carvin Johnson. He's the free safety. That shouldn't be the way it is, but right now it is.
Johnson, 74 tackles on the season, 7 interceptions. We said that he is a commitment to the University of Michigan. The Wolverines coaching staff, they have a lot of connections to Louisiana Gulf Coast area. Oh, busted play here. Spencer now running for his life, picks up a block, and he'll actually get maybe a yard or 2 on the play as he was finally knocked out of bounds by Michael Langley. But that was the big reason why Carvin Johnson decided to go to Michigan. 1, to play for a great coach like Rich Rodriguez, and 2, really felt comfortable with the coaching staff, especially since a lot of them from this region of the country.
Well, this is not the first busted play we've seen tonight. This is at least the third busted play by Westgate. But look at the Langley. Look at Langley, number 21. He's able to stay man up with Spencer. Spencer usually jukes that guy and is able to get the corner, but you got to give credit to number 21, Michael Langley, the cornerback, the senior cornerback, 165 pounds, able to stay with the athletic Deontay Spencer.
Westgate tried to go to the air again, and the pass underthrows the tight end Reginald Charles. So that brings up 3rd and 8 as Westgate has entered the Red Bull red zone. That also was the 13th play of this drive. And what a difference a week makes, Joe. It would have been already 28-21 if you were watching Catholic and Redemptress as we were a week ago.
What was that, 28-27 at half?
Yeah.
And this half still has a little over 7 minutes, so you're right. Be about 28-21 is about when we got a little punt return action last week. Tonight, special teams should be a factor at some point. Earlier, the Westgate's offense did not put their kicking game out there. They went for it on 4th down, but this is a big 3rd down.
3rd and 7. Spencer underneath center. Pitch out. Malvo can't handle it, and Rummel recovers the loose fumble. Rummel Raiders come up with another stand. They've been pulling off turnovers all season long. Coming up with the football for Rummel was Ben Jefferson, and Westgate's offense denied again, 2nd time tonight, inside the red zone, and they come away with no points.
Yeah, there's been a little miscommunication between Deontay Spencer and Malvo, and that's just a little pitch to Malvo. He's designed to go right off tackle and guard, and he unfortunately wasn't able to hang on to the football. So once again, a game that could be 6-0 with 2 field goals is now still 0-0, and you're letting Rummel right back into this game.
And that is Ahmad Brown, who gets about 5 yards off the right side.
You know, so far Westgate has dominated this football game offensively and defensively, and they have absolutely nothing to show for it.
2nd down and 5, and I have a feeling, obviously this is the first time we've seen Rummel play all year, but I have a feeling this is how a lot of their games have gone.
Yeah, it's just smash mouth, lip busting, neck cracking football.
Well, in Rummel's first playoff game, I mentioned it earlier in the Farm Bureau pregame show, they won 10-3 over Captain's Tree. They only had 135 yards of total offense in that game. 2nd down and 6, shotgun formation. And it was a direct snap to Ahmad Brown as they run the Wildcat, and they only get a couple of yards.
You can see the difference between these two offenses. Both offenses like to run the football. However, Westgate likes to line up a lot in the I formation, single back formations, and everything's really tight. Maybe one receiver out wide, but you look at Rummel's offense, they like to spread you out a little bit and still try to run the football.
3rd down and 4. And look at the Westgate cheerleaders. That's a good way to stay warm, though, Jill.
Well, I was doing jumping jacks.
You were, but I told you to stop because you're going to knock the press box down. It's nice enough that UL has allowed us to use their field. We don't want to destroy it. Williams under trouble, and he throws it, and he's lucky it wasn't picked off, as Malcolm Landry was in the vicinity, and Rummel goes 3 and out on its 3rd drive of the night.
Both of these quarterbacks are below 50% passers, so you're not going to see a lot of plays in the passing game tonight. Really simple routes are what these guys can complete, but anything that's 10 to 15 yards down the field are a lot more difficult for these guys to complete, especially when they're under duress such as that play.
And did Williams get hammered on the play. So Raziano in the punt last week against Honville averaged 34 yards a punt. And for the season, my hands are so cold I can't move the stat pages fast enough. Raziano gets it off here, and that's a bad punt as it sails out of bounds. For the season, he's been averaging 35.5 yards. Westgate has the ball when we come back on the Cox Forward Game of the Week.
When you see this, you're going to save a ton of this. But you don't have much of this. So hurry to your Super Chevy dealer's giant year-end red tag event going on right now. Get $4,500 cash back on brand new Silverados and Tahoes, or get $500 cash back and get 0% for 72 months. Plus, get rock-bottom red tag prices on every new Chevy at your Super Chevy dealers today.
Westgate has it again after the defense pulled off a 3-and-out and nothing doing that time for Westgate as Antoine had the carry, sent it down to the frosty field. Bobby Taylor with the Louisiana Dairy Board sideline report.
Well, it was a little funny, Joel. I think you just said that you bet this is the way that Rummel's defense is going all season. As soon as I walked up to that sideline, the defensive coordinator would say, hey, nobody's moved the ball like this on us all season. What's wrong with you guys? He was talking to him, trying to hype up that defense, let them know that it hadn't happened all season. It can't start now in the semifinals. Also, Rummel has a nice little space heater over here. I think I'm going to go warm up to that right quick.
Well, quick pass, I'm sorry, Joe. Quick pass out to Fred Joseph for 5 yards.
Yeah, that was a lateral right there.
Yeah.
So they got to be real careful with those passes. It's going to end up in turnovers. But I got to be honest with you. If you're viewing this game right here on your Farm Bureau replay, you can see this is an actual lateral. And good play right there from the receiver to haul that ball in and pick up some positive yards. Could have been a turnover. But if we seem to mumble or not make any sense during this broadcast, we really are much better than that. The problem is we're frostbitten, okay? Our tongues are frostbitten, our toes. We're not used to this, and neither are the players.
Spencer keeps it himself on 3rd and 6. Good job by the Rummel defense, in particular Neil Lavin, a senior defensive end with over 80 tackles on the season, makes the stop, and Westgate's punt team comes back out onto the field. And this is exactly how I thought this game would go, Joel.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. The last few weeks we've seen nothing but offense and zero defense tonight. A little bit of the opposite.
But here's where you have to watch out if you're Westgate, because Carvin Johnson, he can bring it back in a heartbeat. He's standing at his own 25-yard line. High snap. Virginal gets it. Good punt. Great punt. And Johnson, might have made a mistake by fielding that ball, and he did. I thought it had a chance to get into the end zone. He fielded it, and now Rummel has horrible field position at its own 4-yard line.
But an outstanding tackle, special teams tackle right there by number 27 of Westgate. And if I could find my roster, because that thing's frozen too, number 27, Ronnie Shello. Number 27 comes flying in there. Well, maybe it was 27. I can't see anything. Number 54.
Bryson Broussard makes the tackle.
I'm telling you, if you saw where we are, ladies and gentlemen, we're not used to this. We do games and we're basically on the field. We're about 6 miles away from this game right now, trying to pick it up through snow-covered glasses. It's a very difficult situation.
And Luke Cardozo is now the quarterback for Rummel. He was the regular quarterback until week 8, until he suffered an injury. And now whistles, and is there a flag on the field? Yes, there is. And it's going to be a false start penalty on Rummel, just exactly what they didn't want, but let's hear the call.
False start on the offense, half the distance to the goal. Replay first.
Before the game, head coach Jay Roth told us that Cardozo would get a series here tonight, but the way Damian Williams, I don't know if he decides to change that or not. I'm sure Coach Roth's not a guy that panics early.
What a difficult position to put him in right here.
Yeah.
This is a kid that didn't necessarily lose his job to injury, because he has been able to come in periodically, but this is a tough situation to put the kid in after being injured most of the season.
Had a touchdown last week against Hahnville. So 1st and 12, back at the 2. Handoff, and this could be a safety here. He just got across. The goal line was Brown. Westgate's defense looking for the safety as they had excellent penetration. It brings up 2nd down and 13.
As good as Carvin Johnson has been throughout this football game playing free safety, he is going to regret the fact that he fielded that football inside the 5-yard line. Because look at Westgate's defense. They are playing behind Rummel's line of scrimmage right now. They are not playing on their side of the football. They are playing on Rummel's side of the football defensively. And it's led right there by number 90, who is an outstanding football player, Torrance Benjamin, the defensive tackle. He's one of those guys who just has a motor that never stops.
Quarterback sneak just to give Rummel some room. So Cortozo gets out to about the 4, 3rd down and 10, and you got to be careful with the football if you're Rummel. Timeout, 2:33 left to go in the first half on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
The swamp's starting to melt a little bit. I think it's getting warmer, Joel.
No.
As the ice is starting to break away here at Cajun Field on the campus of the University of Louisiana.
No, it's not.
No score between Rummel and Westgate. Jeff Palermo, a cold Joe Davis, and an even colder Bobby Taylor down on the sidelines.
Bobby is freezing. This is a guy that's doing sideline reporting in the snow without a snow jacket, without a raincoat, and he's got running shoes on.
And he came up first to the trailer, and he had shorts on. I said, hey, Bobby, that's just taking a little bit too far. 3rd down and 11. Everybody knows he's a tough guy, but he doesn't have to be that tough. He's a former Marine, so I know he can handle it. 3rd down and 11. Almost a collision in the backfield before they got it a handoff to Brown, and then he was upended by Kendrick Porter, the junior. And Westgate will burn another timeout. And, Joel, they should have good field position after the Rummel punt.
Well, they're calling timeouts because it's just under 3 minutes left to go here in the first half, and they're not a quick strike offense, so they need the extra time to run the football. They should have the football on Rummel's side of the 50, so good timeout. Good timeout by Westgate. They called a timeout on 3rd down, on 2nd down, and then on 3rd down, and to get that clock stopped, to give their offense time to make a big play.
The Cox 4 Game of the Week brought to you by Raisin Canes and also Borden's, a tradition since 1857. Glad you can join us on this wintry night from Lafayette, our television audience in the Acadiana area who's been with us all season long, and down in New Orleans on Cox Cable 10. And as I said earlier, we will have local football for you next year for Cox customers in the New Orleans area as the Cox Game of the Week continues to grow. That punt is blocked, and does Westgate recover it in the end zone? Yes, they do. Falling on the football is Denarius Antoine. Malcolm Landry came untouched, and Westgate has the lead.
Outstanding special teams play, and one of the keys to victory in this football game is to play well on special teams. Well, the first mistake was Carvin Johnson retrieving the football inside his 5-yard line, thinking he could make a big play. He wasn't able to. Right there, you look at number 31 making the big block, and then number 30, his brother in crime, able to pick up that football and get the easy touch.
Now the extra point try. Virginal will try to give Westgate a 7-0 lead. A high snap, and now taking it is Richard Morey. Morey will get brought down at the 8 as Chris Randall tackled him, but Westgate takes the lead. Those are precious points on the scoreboard. 6-0 Westgate. 2:27 left to go in the first half on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Hello, I'm Eric Edwards with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out now what's going on in Livingston Parish. We have over 400 nautical miles of waterways. Tee it up at our great world-renowned golf courses. Shop at our antique districts, or come to Bass Pro, our #1 retailer. There's a lot to do in Livingston Parish that you never imagined. It's all happening right here in Livingston Parish. For more information, go online at visitlivingstonparish.com.
6-0 is our score. Westgate after the block punt by Malcolm Landry, and then Denarius Antoine fielded it. And that is our scoring recap brought to you by the Louisiana Department of Justice. I don't know if we'll have another scoring drive tonight. 6-0 Westgate, the Cinderella team, the number 21 seed, leading the top seed Rummel. And, well, saying at break, Joel, because of these weather conditions, I think, and there's not too many other big matchups like this where you have a 20 versus a 1. You got it with Catholic and Notre Dame. But I think you're going to, when this game's over and we're driving back to our homes, we're going to hear a lot of crazy scores from tonight because the weather conditions are really going to hamper all the teams that are out there tonight. Good return there for Rummel, Cyril Grayson, but tackled at the 28.
Westgate's just hitting right now. They have come to hit somebody tonight. They've come to hit somebody tonight, and every time Rummel carries the football, whether it be rushing the football or returns on kickoffs or punts, Westgate is hitting them right in the mouth and letting them know that you're a little bit north of where you're used to being. And we play football over here pretty tough and bloody in the Acadiana area. Acadiana is known for its smash mouth football, and it's probably got some of the best football in the state of Louisiana right here in the Acadiana area.
Damian Williams, and a double pass possibly to Johnson, but Virginal snuffed it out. And Johnson he almost got drilled all the way back to Ann Arbor on that hit. Big time hit by Virginal, and they lose 8 yards to the 20.
Boy, he sniffed this thing out. I mean, it was like a rat to cheese.
Oh,
look
man.
at that. And he is very fortunate to hang on to the football because that would have been a turnover because that was a lateral pass.
Joel, that's just good scouting. I'm sure Westgate has seen that on tape before. That similar play, and Virginal knew exactly where it was coming, and he was right there. Second out and 18, under 2 minutes to go in this first half. And now they'll play it safe, and man, they are just going backwards. As nothing happening, Brown makes the tackle.
And they're
Brown on the carry. Tyler Jackson on the tackle.
And you can see right there Ahmad Brown get up. He is frustrated. He doesn't feel like he's had one running lane. His offensive line is just not able to block Westgate's defensive line to this point in the football game. And Westgate, that guy right there, number 43, was dominant on that play.
Third down and a long way to go. They need to get to the 37, and they're at the 18. So 3rd and 19 as we hit the 1 minute mark of a tough first half offensively for Rummel. Direct snap to Brown, and he gets hit immediately. Westgate, I do not believe they have any timeouts at this point, so the clock will just continue to roll, and they're going to come after this punt.
Why not? They were able to block the last one, and like I was talking about earlier, Westgate is playing on Rummel's side of the line of scrimmage, and until Rummel is able to block that front seven of Westgate, it's going to be a long night. They're going to end up with less than 100 yards total offense.
Well, they're going to have to make some adjustments at halftime and try to figure out a way to move the ball against Westgate. At least Westgate has been able to move the football on Rummel, but the Raiders, they have done nothing all night offensively.
And they've struggled on the offensive side of the football all season long, although they did have a big game last week.
Rummel calls a timeout as they tried to milk as much time off the clock. So 12 seconds left. Coming up in the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau halftime show, we'll look at our first half highlights, and we'll break this game down even more and talk about the keys to the second half. 6-0 Westgate. Max protection here, Joel, I would think.
Well, I don't see max
protection. You don't.
I see them doing the same thing they did a second ago, and it cost them 6 points. So I don't believe that Westgate with just 12 seconds left to go in this first half. I can't even believe they wouldn't go after him.
Graziano this time gets a good snap, and he's able to punt it away. Good punt. Takes a Rummel bounce, and how much time's going to be left by the time halftime. And that's it. So that punt takes off the 12 seconds on the clock. 6-0. The score, Westgate leading Rummel as they head into the locker room. Bobby Taylor has been able to grab Coach Brian Fine before he goes into the locker room for some warmth and dry weather. Let's head it down to the sidelines. Bobby Taylor has Brian Fine on this Louisiana Dairy Board sideline report.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, Coach, you're up 6-0 at the half. Did that go pretty much how you expected?
That's pretty much kind of game we expected, a field position game, and we kind of got the best of field position in the first half. We'll see what happens here in the second half.
It seemed like you guys came out just ready to win this game, Coach. Talk a little bit about your corner, Virginal. Made some big plays there, right?
He had some big hits. We're playing pretty good defense right now, and that's the key for us. It's been the key.
And anything going to change in the second half? Pretty much the same.
I think, you're probably going to look at more of the same.
All right, thanks, Coach, and good luck in the second half. Well, there you have it. We have an ice bowl, and we have a slugfest on defense so far. Special teams playing a role as Westgate is up 6-0 at half here at the semifinals.
Hello, I'm Eric Edwards with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out now what's going on in Livingston Parish. We have over 400 nautical miles of waterways. Tee it up at our great world-renowned golf courses. Shop at our antique districts, or come to Bass Pro, our #1 retailer. There's a lot to do in Livingston Parish that you never imagined. It's all happening right here in Livingston Parish. For more information, go online at visitlivingstonparish.com.
I'm all about being close to the things that I love. My friends, my phone, and definitely my milk. Which is why I'm all about Borden. It's made locally in my hometown and close to yours. That means they don't have to drive very far. Which is good for the planet and even better for the taste buds. Being close means it's super fresh and seriously delicious. Tell Mom to look for Elsie. Hey, if it's Borden, it's got to be good.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
If you're looking for the skinny on high-def flat-screen TVs, come to AVI. For advice on Dolby Digital surround sound systems, trust AVI. Mobile electronics and custom boxes, again, it's AVI. Even phone and surveillance systems, come to AVI. And if you really don't know what he wants,
AVI gift cards are your answer.
that's AVI, professionally installing technology in Acadiana for 20 years.
Off Ambassador.
Between Sam's and Walmart.
We're back at Frosty Cajun Field in Lafayette for the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Halftime on the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau halftime show. Westgate leading 6-0 over the top-seeded Rummel Raiders as the Westgate cheerleaders putting on a good performance. I don't know how they're doing, how they're moving so fluidly. Is that a word? I don't know. It's cold and my brain's not thinking straight, but that first half, that first 24 minutes, as Coach Brian Fine said, Joel, just kind of exactly what we expected.
Well, that's exactly what we expected as well. We knew Rummel had an outstanding defense. We knew Westgate had an outstanding defense. Rummel only giving up 7 points a game during the regular season. During the playoffs, they've only given up 17 points total. For Westgate, they give up 17 points a game, and then during the playoffs, they've done extremely well. They gave up 27 points to Central, but other than that, they've played outstanding as well. So tonight, so far, the difference in this football game has been Westgate's ability to rush the football with Brandon Malvo. This is a guy that's missed 5 games during the regular season. Since then, he's come in, had close to 700 yards rushing on the season, and he's been able to get himself into the end zone with 9 touchdowns, and he has been the difference. He is a pounder, he's a bruiser, and he right now, Rummel's thinking about number 5 every time he touches the football.
Well, what is Rummel going to do offensively to get something going against Westgate? You're down 6-0. Now, they could possibly try to rely on a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown, but they have to do something offensively, and so far they have shown nothing on offense.
Well, and the problem for them is their offensive line is not creating any areas for Ahmad Brown to rush the football. They've got J.J. Brown that can also run the football. They're going to have to mix it up. They've spread it out so far against Westgate, trying to spread Westgate's defense out to try to get some of their speed closer to the sideline and away from the middle of the football field. They're trying to rush the football in the middle. Maybe a little play-action bootleg, a little naked bootleg with the quarterback, Williams, who's an outstanding athlete. But they're going to have to stretch the football down the field, and it's going to be very difficult to do that in this weather. So Ahmad Brown, he better buckle up his chin strap and try to pound the rock.
Yeah, that offensive line is going to have to reach down deep to try to help out that running game that's struggling. Rummel will get the ball to start the second half, so we'll see what kind of halftime adjustments they were able to make. We'll take a break on the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau halftime show. 6-0, Westgate trying to reach the state championship game for the first time in the school's history. You're watching the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Fact.
Average cost for a semester of college?
$10,000. At Our Lady of the Lake College,
About $4,000.
but with tops
Only $2,600. Get ready for life.
at Our Lady of the Lake College.
Acadiana Trophies, locally owned and operated since 1977. We're not just a trophy shop. We offer computerized and laser engraving, monogramming, glass engraving, wedding and Mardi Gras gifts, plaques, acrylic awards, medals, trophies, electrical and offshore tags, picture plaques, ribbons, sport, church, and school awards, family reunion items, t-shirts, caps, cups, koozies, and much more. We are dedicated to giving you only the highest quality and service. Our staff is professionally trained to help you in whatever your award needs may be. Acadiana Trophies.
Folks, I'm Buddy Caldwell, your Attorney General. I joined forces with your good contractors and the Better Business Bureau for a few storm damage tips. Get a written contract, there's a good one on our website, and proof of their insurance. Take pictures of your damage. And finally, have materials delivered to your job site, not the contractor's shop. For further information, go to agbuddycaldwell.com.
Traveling the road of auto insurance can be tricky, and when all signs point to no, one sign points to yes. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we're here to help you with life's twists and turns. With affordable auto insurance rates and dependable local service, Farm Bureau can make sure you're on the right track, because life doesn't come with directions. We can show you the way. Farm Bureau Insurance, your life made simpler.
Fact.
Earn more with a bachelor's degree.
Choose from 25 areas of study.
Get financial assistance.
And then,
Get ready for life.
at Our Lady of the Lake College.
Snow still falling at Cajun Field. Actually, more of a frozen rain, I guess you can call it. It's Westgate leading Rummel 6-0. One of these two teams will get to play in the warmth of the Louisiana Superdome next Saturday night in the Class 5A championship game. Rummel right now, they need to get something going offensively as they trail at 6-0. I tell you who Rummel could really use right now. Redemptress's running back, Jeremy Hill, who put on a splendid performance in a losing effort last week against Catholic New Iberia. And the LSU commitment, the running back from Redemptress, is our Borden's Player of the Week.
I'm Brent Fisher, sales manager for Borden Milk. We salute the student athlete, and we're proud to sponsor the Player of the Week on Cox 4. The honor goes to the player who gave a little extra and made the difference in last week's game. Each Player of the Week automatically becomes a finalist for our Borden Player of the Year to be announced in December. Borden Milk is produced right here in Louisiana from cows not treated with artificial hormones. And remember, always look for Elsie in your local dairy case.
For Hill. Hill gets away from one tackler and into the end zone. As Hill gets a carry, he's got a blocker in front of him. To the 15, 10, 5. Hill goes untouched into the end zone. Throw it to Hill, who's wide open. Touchdown, Redemptress. Hill to the left side. To the 25, still on his feet. 20, 15.
I'm all about being close to the things that I love. My friends, my phone, and definitely my milk. Which is why I'm all about Borden. It's made locally in my hometown and close to yours. That means they don't have to drive very far. Which is good for the planet and even better for the taste buds. Being close means it's super fresh and seriously delicious. Tell Mom to look for Elsie. Hey, if it's Borden, it's got to be good.
Frozen rain continues to fall here at Cajun Field. Westgate 6-0 as they lead it. We'll continue with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau halftime show after this on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Desire, determination, dedication, discipline. No matter your age or your sport, USTA will make you stronger, faster, and more flexible. Your coaches will love it because they know you play like you train. Train like the pros. United States Sports Training Academy and Hyperbaric Therapy. Pico Lane in Baton Rouge.
It's the Tri-State Rodeo Finals at Lamar Dixon Expo Center, Friday, December 11th and Saturday, December 12th, 7 o'clock p.m., featuring the best of the best in bull riding, bronc riding, pretty girls in the barrel racing, Las Vegas-style rodeo here at Tri-State Rodeo, featuring NFR qualifiers Frank Graves, Jenna Gyro, and Cody Casto. Cody Morgan and Dusty Purvis fighting out to be the TSRA all-around cowboy. There'll be a special cancer services of Baton Rouge Stick Horse Rodeo on Saturday at 4 o'clock p.m. Tickets at the door. Tri-State Rodeo, Lamar Dixon, December 11th and 12th. See you there, partner!
People look up to our craftsmanship, Bricks Incorporated. People look up to our roofing, we craft each job with care. Shingles, metal, slate, or tile, the quality's beyond compare. Raise your standards, set them high, you'll choose Cribs and here is why. People look up to our craftsmanship, Bricks Incorporated.
Come shoot for savings at Sterling Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Opelousas for great deals like these. Take $7,000 off an 09 Jeep Wrangler. How about all 09 Dodge Chargers and all 09 Chrysler 300, $7,000 off. An 09 Dodge Ram 1500 Crew Cab, $12,000 off. And an 09 Dodge Ram Heavy Duty 2500, $13,000 off. So don't let them stuff you like a turkey. Come to Sterling and Opelousas for a feast of savings.
All right, let's take a look at our first half highlights. And a big run here by Brandon Melville. That kind of set the tone for the first half as Westgate, big run there. Nice tackle, though, by Rummel to save a touchdown. So they're in the Red Bull red zone. Melville running in close, very close to a first down marker. He didn't get it, though. So we now move on to the second quarter. More of Melville. Slips a tackle there. Breaks 3-4 tackles, stays on his feet. A nice hard run as he was feeling it. Then the fumble, though. Second time that Westgate was inside the 20-yard line to come away with no points. And then here's the touchdown. Malcolm Landry blocks the punt. Denarius Antoine falls on it. Still hard to believe that ball didn't get out of the end zone. Westgate unable to convert on the extra point, so our score 6-0. We'll take another break on the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau halftime show. And when we come back, we'll talk more about what Rummel needs to do in the second half to win and what Westgate needs to do to hold on to this 6-point lead.
Damadaire Interiors is the most unique furniture store in Acadiana.
We offer quality, handcrafted pieces from across the globe. Come in to view our newly stocked showroom. Dining tables, TV consoles, beds, accent pieces, sofas, and so much more. Need a custom design piece? Our design team can help you create one-of-a-kind furniture that's perfect for your dream living space. For a full home decor makeover, let De Madera Interiors be your makeover destination.
If you're looking for the skinny on high-def flat-screen TVs, come to AVI. For advice on Dolby Digital surround sound systems,
Trust AVI.
mobile electronics and custom boxes,
Again, it's AVI.
even phone and surveillance systems.
Come to AVI.
And if you really don't know what he wants,
AVI gift cards are your answer.
that's AVI, professionally installing technology in Acadiana for 20 years.
Off Ambassador.
Between Sam's and Walmart.
Hello, I'm Eric Edwards with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out now what's going on in Livingston Parish. We have over 400 nautical miles of waterways. Tee it up at our great world-renowned golf courses. Shop at our antique districts, or come to Bass Pro, our #1 retailer. There's a lot to do in Livingston Parish that you never imagined. It's all happening right here in Livingston Parish. For more information, go online at visitlivingstonparish.com.
Come shoot for savings at Sterling Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Opelousas for great deals like these. Take $7,000 off an 09 Jeep Wrangler. How about all 09 Dodge Chargers and all 09 Chrysler 300, $7,000 off. An 09 Dodge Ram 1500 Crew Cab, $12,000 off. And an 09 Dodge Ram Heavy Duty 2500, $13,000 off. So don't let them stuff you like a turkey. Come to Sterling and Opelousas for a feast of savings.
Wrapping up the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau halftime show, Westgate with a 6-0 lead over the Rummel Raiders. For one of these two teams, the winner will advance to the state championship game for the first time in the school's history. Let's look back at our keys to the game, brought to you by Home Furniture.
Well, for the road team, the Rummel Raiders, they need to slow down Deontay Spencer. So far in the first half, they have done a good job with Spencer. Maybe we should have put on there, slow down Brandon Malva, because he's gone off. And then as far as making plays in the special teams, they gave up a big one, and that would cost them 6. For Westgate, win the field position battle. They've done that by being able to move the football in the rushing game and grab an early lead. It wasn't real early, but it was in the first half. So here we are with a 6-0 lead in the first after the first half is over.
Let's look at how these two teams got to this point. First of all, for Rummel, they beat Captain Shreve in the first round of the playoff games. That is a 1 versus 32 matchup. And you see, Rummel only wins by 7 points. They scored all 10 of its points in the first quarter, and they only had 135 total yards. Then week 2, they beat Jesuit 14-7, scored the winning touchdown with 12 seconds left as quarterback Damian Williams threw an 11-yard touchdown pass to Corey Murphy. And then last week, probably Rummel's best performance of the season as they beat Hanville 24-7. Ahmad Brown had 123 yards on the ground in that game. For the Westgate Tigers, number 21 seed, they defeated Mandeville in the first round, beating the Skippers 21-14. Westgate trailed 14-0 in that game, but an interception by Duval Jackson ended up winning that game for Westgate. And then in the second round, a shocker there, Westgate returns home and beats South Lafourche 26-2 as Westgate held the Tarpons to just 140 yards. That's a very good offense that South Lafourche had this year. And then in last week, a remarkable comeback, down 21-3 to Central, one of the best teams in the state. And they come back and they beat the Wildcats 30-27. There's a look at some of the Hardy fans. The two teams have yet to make it out of the locker room. Now the Westgate Tigers have left their locker as the first half, or the halftime, wraps up from snowy Cajun Field. We'll take another break. When we come back, second half action on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Come shoot for savings at Sterling Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Opelousas for great deals like these. Take $7,000 off an 09 Jeep Wrangler. How about all 09 Dodge Chargers and all 09 Chrysler 300, $7,000 off. An 09 Dodge Ram 1500 Crew Cab, $12,000 off. And an 09 Dodge Ram Heavy Duty 2500, $13,000 off. So don't let them stuff you like a turkey. Come to Sterling and Opelousas for a feast of savings.
De Madera Interiors is the most unique furniture store in Acadiana. We offer quality, handcrafted pieces from across the globe. Come in to view our newly stocked showroom. Dining tables, TV consoles, beds, accent pieces, sofas, and so much more. Need a custom design piece? Our design team can help you create one-of-a-kind furniture that's perfect for your dream living space. For a full home decor makeover, let De Madera Interiors be your makeover destination.
When you see this, you're going to save a ton of this. But you don't have much of this. So hurry to your Super Chevy dealer's giant year-end red tag event going on right now. Get $4,500 cash back on brand new Silverados and Tahoes, or get $500 cash back and get 0% for 72 months. Plus, get rock bottom red tag prices on every new Chevy at your Super Chevy dealers today.
The mixed precipitation continues to fall at Cajun Field. Jeff Palermo, Joe Davis, and Bobby Taylor at Cajun Field on the campus of the University of Louisiana. And we have to thank UL for allowing Westgate and Rummel to play the semifinal matchup here. I was I was asking some of the locals around here, how many playoff games have they ever played here? You would have thought maybe you might want to play some games here. Really just the Jamboree at the beginning of the season. The Kiwanis Jamboree is the only high school football game played here. And this is a great venue to have a high school football game. If the weather conditions were a little better, you'd have a lot more fans in the stadium, and it would have a great atmosphere in this contest. So, again, UL came up to the plate, and they've knocked out a home run here for Westgate and Rummel for them to play in this game.
Well, fortunately for the fans of the Westgate Tigers and the Rummel Raiders, Cox 4 has stepped up to broadcast this football game, and with the weather the way it is, we're making it a very safe evening for the fans that can watch this game on TV, because the less of people that are out on the roads tonight, probably the better.
Right, especially with you driving. I'm a little worried about you.
No, you know that. Speaking of which, if you're out and about this weekend, and we want to remind you, one of our sponsors, De Madera, and you'll see the commercials throughout the broadcast, De Madera is now located on West Pinhook, where they were originally. They've moved back. They are on Pinhook. So all you Westgate fans that are living out in the New Iberia area, much easier travel for you to the Pinhook location. De Madera, an import company. They import furniture from all over the world. Really neat accessories, and they've also combined it with an artisan's bazaar. Features a local artist with a paint, sculptors, what you name it, potters, they're there. All in one store, 610 West Pinhook next to Roos Chris. De Madera.
I want to thank some of our other sponsors. Domino's Pizza, once again, supplying the pregame food for our crew, and it came in handy. That is the last warm, oven-baked sandwich
so good.
is the last warm thing I have felt last 4 hours.
Yeah, and it was warm, brother.
Yeah, so
it's gone now, though.
Thanks again, Domino's. We're going to miss those. Of course, this is our last broadcast, Joel, and it's been a fantastic season. And some of the other sponsors we'd like to thank, Cribs Incorporated, Farm Bureau, U.S. Marine Corps, let's see, Borden's, the Marine Corps, Raising Cane's, Borden, of course, De Madera.
Who's that?
Sterling Automotive, Aerial Access Equipment, which has supplied us the lift for our end zone camera all season long, except for tonight, because
best
we
view
didn't
of the
need
house.
it.
Best view of the house.
Best view. There's no doubt about it. And Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. I want to thank all of those folks, Red Bull, Motion Marketing, and Mellow Joy. I think that catches all of our sponsors at the Cox Ford Game of the Week. U.S. Marine Corps, definitely. And we'll see the collisions of the week coming up at the end of the third quarter. But let's send it down to the field. Bobby Taylor has the Louisiana Dairy Board sideline report.
Yeah, Jeff, I spoke to Coach Roth of the Rummel Raiders before this third quarter could get started, brought up the issue that there in the second quarter there was a block punt. I saw the guys coming off the field. Two Rummel guys looked at each other, kind of shrugged their shoulders like they didn't know what was going on. Coach Roth said they have to do better in those areas. They're solid on offense, they're solid on defense, and on special teams. They need to get back to that here in the second quarter. I also asked him what's going to have to change. He said this team is going to have to play with a little more heart. This is the last game of the season. Well, this could be their last game of the season if they don't get it together and play better in the second half.
Thanks, Bobby, and that's, I think, some wise thoughts there from Coach Jay Roth. That looks to be the Rummel side, but I think there's a couple of Westgate. I don't know. I'm sure that's the Rummel student body that has made the long trip up from Metairie and right behind the sidelines cheering their team on. Right now, Joe, you got to leave it all on the line.
Well, I'd like to point out one thing that's kind of something you got to take note of. If you look over at the Rummel sideline, they've got heaters.
Yeah.
They've got heaters brought in from obviously, I don't know where, Metairie, New Orleans, so. And they've got their heaters blaring on the sidelines. Don't see any heaters on the Westgate side.
No. And these two teams, I got to say this, Joe, and I'm sure there was a lot to talk about and a lot of adjustments to make, but they spent a long time in the locker room because I'm sure there was a lot of players that were cold and they needed to get there you look at those space heaters. I'm not sure how well they're working, but I have seen players huddle around them.
I don't know if that's good. I don't know if you need that, especially if the other team's fighting through it.
Yeah.
You know, and look, I'm all for warmth. I wish I had one in here right now with me. But I think that if you're going to be out there playing football, I don't think you need a heater.
Here's the kick, a short kick, and then it goes out of bounds.
Well, they started that off in the first half with a kick out of bounds.
Rummel's opening kick was out of bounds as well, so we start the second half the same way.
Strategy. That's all about strategy.
Looks like snow is falling once again. We've gone from the rain to the sleet, freezing rain, snow, back to freezing rain. It's kind of been mixing back and forth.
Well,
and that is snow. I can say that, being from the Midwest, that's snow.
Well, I'm not a meteorologist, but I'll tell you one thing.
I'm surprised you spit that word out with your lips so cold.
Well, it's not just the lips, brother. My tongue's frozen too. I'm not a meteorologist, but I'll tell you one thing. It's all cold no matter what it is. Tonight, it's all cold.
1st and 10. Let's see if Rummel's offense can heat up. Williams to the air on the first play, and it's complete. And a first down for Rummel, and that's exactly what they needed as it was completed to Russell Zimmerman.
And during halftime, we talked about what Rummel needed to do to move the football in the second half was getting Williams going down the field, throwing the football. And we didn't know how much success he could have here with the weather conditions the way they are, but he showed you right there he has the ability to throw darts when he needs to. Excellent pass right there from Williams to Zimmerman.
Zimmerman's 12th catch of the season. Shotgun formation. Williams will hand it off to Brown. Gets hit in the backfield and gets maybe a half a yard, and that is it.
Well,
Sean Benjamin there for Westgate defensively.
Well, what they did was earlier on that first down is, you know, a lot of the times Westgate's defenders on the outside, like number 4, Virginal, were cheating in, not expecting the pass. Well, what that'll do is it'll keep those defenders on the outside. So that way they only have to go against 6 to 8 guys in the middle.
2nd down and 9. Williams shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers to the far side. Play action fake. Williams looking downfield, has time to throw, and it's complete. Wide open down the middle of the field is Russell Zimmerman inside the 10 and brought down at the 8-yard line by Torrey Wilson. Big pass play for the freshman Damian Williams to Russell Zimmerman, who was wide open.
And he did a great route on Venable right there on the outside, but look at the dart. He throws right down the middle of the field, splits the coverage with 2 deep on the outside. And it's an easy route to run. It's an easy pass to complete. These conditions don't make it that easy, but it is an easy pass to complete. You don't have to really force it anywhere. The guy's wide open, but the pass protection that Rummel gave him was outstanding.
Rummel in the Red Bull red zone. Man in motion. Williams underneath center. Flags fly, and boy, did Brown get pounded on the play. And these are going to be a tough 8 yards, I have a feeling, for Rummel.
Well, if they can continue.
Did they call
to throw on the
timeout
outside,
before? I guess they did.
They didn't like the defense that Westgate was showing them, the play that they had called against them.
Timeout Rummel, and the white flakes are falling, Joel.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a winter wonderland here at Cajun Field.
And I'm stuck in a boot. It's not cool at all, man. I want to go out there and play in the snow. If I'm going to be cold, I'd like to be in the snow at least, you know?
Joel, this is the 5th year I think I've been doing high school football in Louisiana, and usually you may have 1 or 2 games with rain, and you know as the season gets on, it's going to get colder.
Yeah.
But this has been the craziest weather year for high school football that Louisiana has seen in a long time, and I think it's only appropriate that we have snow on the final game of our broadcast anyways. No snow in the Superdome next week. If we do, then we really got a story. 1st and goal at the 9. Handoff. And a good hard run by Brown gets him a couple yards before Westgate's defense converges on him. Coming off the bottom of that pile, number 21, Eugene Livingston, the leading tackler for Westgate. 2nd and goal at the 7.
It just shows you the toughness of this Westgate defense. Yeah, they gave up a couple of big plays in the passing game, but what you've noticed about their defense, once they finally get their hands around you, you don't go forward any further.
What?
You typically go backwards, and you know, Ahmad Brown is an outstanding running back for Rummel, but once he's hit, he goes backwards.
Terrence Jones, the running back this time, along with J.J. Brown. 2nd and goal at the 7. Brown's the fullback. I think Rummel goes to the air again. Damian Williams underneath center, and he does. Play action fake, under pressure, throws, and it's almost intercepted on the play by Livingston. Was trying to hit Brown in the flat, and a great effort, but good pressure really screwed up the timing of this play.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 17 got in there and put pressure on the quarterback. He had him wide open. He could have just gotten him the football. But look, don't close your eyes to J.J. Brown and Torrance Jones. These are guys that have rushed the football all season. I know it was a good call on your part to say that he would go in the air again, but Jones has 4 touchdowns, 585 yards rushing, and J.J. Brown, 522 yards, 4 touchdowns on the ground. Those guys can get it done.
3rd and goal at the 7. Quick pass on the slant. It's complete. Touchdown. Touchdown, Rummel, but there is a flag. Corey Murphy makes the catch. It would be his 4th touchdown if the play stands, but let's wait a second.
You know, Virgil's had an outstanding football game tackling Rummel in the rushing department, but this has been a tough series for him lining up at the cornerback position. They have attacked him over and over and over again. Fortunately for him, fortunately for Westgate, the ball will be pushed back. It will not be a touchdown.
Illegal procedure. Let's get the call from the official, Johnny Bird.
Illegal formation on the offense, not enough men on the line. 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
I always hate that call.
First time they had 4 wide receivers in the game and they didn't have enough men on the line. But a nice throw by Williams to Murphy. Virginal, he was on him like a glove, but not good enough. Yep. So that backs Rummel up to the 12.
Corey Murphy, 6'2", 185 pounds, much bigger than Virginal, the cornerback, number 4. I mean, 6'2", 185. They like that matchup, and then you get a good look at the head coach,
Jay Roth, in his 15th season. Rummel has been to the state semifinals 5 times. They have yet to win. Last time in 2006, they lost to Sulphur 7-0.
Oh, that was a tough one.
2 years ago, Westgate, they were in the semifinal game and lost to Destrehan. That was a pounding.
Jordan Jefferson.
Yeah, Jordan Jefferson and company lit them up that night. You saw it on the Cox Forward Game of the Week. Rummel needs to call timeout as they have mass confusion. Jay Roth is out in the middle of the field, not very happy. 9:33 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 6-0 Westgate on the Cox Forward Game of the Week.
The Bluffs Country Club in St. Francisville is open and better than ever. Come play Arnold Palmer's Masterpiece, the #1 course in Louisiana for 2009. Lightning fast greens, lush fairways, and sugar white bunkers await. Memberships now available. Stay and play packages available as well at our on-site hotel, The Lodge at the Bluffs. For tee times or more information, call 225-634-5757. The Bluffs Country Club. Golf the way it was meant to be played.
Jay Roth is giving the head official, Johnny Bird, an earful. I would imagine he disagrees with the call not enough men at the line of scrimmage. You know, and what officials ask, and I've seen this, or I've been involved in these conversations before the game, officials will ask coaches, do you have any special formations that we need to keep a lookout for so that we know they're coming, and you know, we can see whether it's 7 men on the line of scrimmage like you're supposed to have. So
right.
That is a conversation that officials will have with coaches, and coaches will say, hey, I got this super duper play. Trust me, it's legal. Count it up. And I don't know if that's the case there. Is Coach Brian Fine is thankful that the officials called that.
Well, I'd like to go back to the replay if we could and possibly see if there was a infraction on the play, because I wasn't able to pick it up from the booth in which we sit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Coach Roth is an intense guy. Before the game, we had an opportunity to talk to him going into his interview, and he was ready for some football. This is a guy that's all football all the time, and he's an intense guy. So when things don't go his way, you got to anticipate that intensity to take a couple of notches up, go up a couple of notches.
This has been a great program, even though it hasn't reached the Dome just yet, and maybe tonight's the night. But during
your best chance.
The 15 seasons for Jay Roth, 145-35. That is a pretty good win-loss record. 3rd and goal now from the 12 for Rummel. Williams in the shotgun formation takes the snap. Heaves it as they try a lob pass, and it is almost intercepted on the play. Torrey Wilson had his hands on it as they tried to go to Carvin Johnson. No flags on the play, and let's see what Rummel will do. Looks like they're bringing the field goal team on.
Yeah, just a 3-step drop. He just didn't get enough on the football and really made it easy for Wilson. You got to get that ball to the back corner of the end zone if you want to make that play. It's a play where you want to hit the sideline, hit the cone. I'll meet you at the cone, and he just wasn't able to get enough on the football. Perhaps the ball was a little wet. Difficult throwing conditions on those touch passes, that's for sure.
Graziano will try the field goal. He has hit 8 this season.
And talked to him during warm-ups, asked him how the footing was. He thought it was just fine for him.
39-yard field goal try, and does he sneak it in there? And no, he missed it. Check that, it was 29-yard field goal, and Westgate's defense comes up with the stand. So we've seen 3 possessions inside the 20-yard line, and no one has been able to come away with any points.
Well, the only one that was able to come away with points was a mistake on special teams. It wasn't an offense getting the job done, that's for sure. But like I said, talked to the young kicker during pregame warm-ups, and he didn't think that the footing would be a problem for the kickers. Watched him a few times. Not once did he slip, although I was slipping all over the place because I didn't have cleats on.
Well, the field has gotten worse since.
Yeah.
Before 7 o'clock tonight.
But I don't think that there was I don't think that the footing had anything to do with that. That was pressure from Westgate. That's why he missed that kick.
Antoine runs off the left side and gets about 2. Philip Helmstetter, the all-district linebacker, 6'1", 224 pounds, makes the tackle after a pickup of 2.
I got to tell you got to give these kids credit. Up to this point in the football game, you haven't seen any turnovers other than a missed pitch from Westgate. But these kids, these running backs, have done a good job to be able to hang on to the football in wet conditions.
2nd down and 8. Antoine, the tailback, 2 wide receivers to the top. Pitch out to Antoine. Antoine picks his way for about 3 or 4 yards as he was stopped again by Helmstetter, the quarterback of this defense. This is a defense, and we've seen it all night long. They really run fast to the ball. And one of the reasons why they've had so much success this season, according to Coach Jay Roth, is the team chemistry. You got several 3-year starters on this team, and they've had an unbelievable season. Rummel was expected to have a good year, Joe. They're coming off a 9-2 season, but no one thought that this team can go 13-0 and tie a school record for victories.
Yeah, this is a pretty important game for them, not only to get to the championship game, but they would like to break the record of 13-0.
3rd and 4, Malvo is not going to get the first down. Helmstetter and Johnson make the tackle a yard shy of the first down. Westgate will have to punt. And this is where I think it gets dangerous for Westgate. One, you have to watch out for a bad snap, obviously a block punt, but then you got a guy like Carvin Johnson who is an excellent returner. He has returned 2 punts this season for a touchdown, has not muffed any.
You call me crazy right now, but if I'm the Westgate, if I'm Brian Fine, I really got to consider going forward on 4th down right here. I know that you're on your own. I know you're on your own 29-yard line, but Rummel has had problems moving the football in this game so far. But so I would take my chances. I would take my chances going forward on 4th down, then punting it to a dangerous Johnson.
Westgate had a call timeout. They didn't have enough people on the field. We'll take a timeout. We'll try to straighten out Joel's head, and we'll come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
It is what it is, buddy.
Come shoot for savings at Sterling Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Opelousas for great deals like these. Take $7,000 off an 09 Jeep Wrangler. How about all 09 Dodge Chargers and all 09 Chrysler 300, $7,000 off. An 09 Dodge Ram 1500 Crew Cab, $12,000 off. And an 09 Dodge Ram Heavy Duty 2500, $13,000 off. So don't let them stuff you like a turkey. Come to Sterling and Opelousas for a feast of savings.
Fourth and 1, Westgate will punt it. They will not take Joel Davis's advice, which I think is crazy.
And you got 1 yard. Rummel hasn't done anything with the football.
Well, let's see what happens. Oh, high snap over Virginal's head. He couldn't handle it and tries to punt it away and somehow does, and then picked up by a Rummel player at the 30, and they return it to the 25 after a big hit. What a crazy play. It appeared, let's see who ended up picking up that football and running with it. Michael Langley. But what a play. And, Joe, you were right. They should have gone for it.
They'd be in a better situation. They'd have been in a better situation if they'd have gone for it. They'd probably have a first down. But give credit to this young man.
How did he get that off just to get
off the side of his foot? That's how he got it off.
Oh, man. And then picking it up like a second baseman is Michael Langley. And he gets hammered on this play. Oh, man. We don't have U.S. Marine Corps collisions of the week next week, but that would be on there. 1st and 10 at the 25. Brown loses a yard. As this Westgate defense is just relentless. Datrin Turner and Eugene Livingston in on the stop.
The longer this game goes on, the more frustrated Ahmad Brown's going to become, because this is a guy that used to being able to find and pick his hole. But look at number 21, seal that edge defensively. He knows exactly, and that's what it is. Good defense, you can have all the athletes in the world, but if you don't play sound fundamental football, you're not going to be a good defense. You can have great guys on every spot on the field, and you'll be able to run places, but good offenses can trick you. So if you do your job, and you can be a good defense.
2nd and 11 at the 26. Back to pass, throwing, and it is complete once again. Wide open is Russell Zimmerman. And he has very close. Yeah, he's got a first down, huh?
Wow, Zimmerman showing some excellent range with his hands. And look at this right here. Nice pass. The pass protection is outstanding. They can't run block, but they can sure pass block. Look at this. Look at this catch.
Let's go down to the sidelines. A Louisiana Dairy Board sideline report with Bobby Taylor.
Yeah, Jeff, I told you I was talking with Coach Jay Roth coming out of halftime. Another question that I asked him is, hey, Coach, you're going to change anything up for the second half? He told me we're going to do it pretty much the same. But as you can see, anyone who watched that first half knows that play calling so far this second half has been quite the departure from what they were doing in the first half. They ran every play. Now they're passing it, getting first downs that way.
And Russell Zimmerman is having a big second half. That's the 3rd catch in this half. He had only 11 receptions coming into this football game.
So that would make Jay Roth a liar.
First down and 10 at the 15. Inside the Red Bull red zone is Rummel. Brown just nothing doing on the run. Livingston and Turner there once again. Datrin Turner, the senior, he's had a great career at Westgate. Second team all-district player a season ago.
Well, watch number 21 just get in here and then plug that hole, but the key is coming from the backside. The defensive end is just flying down the line of scrimmage, and Ahmad Brown has no chance. He's got one guy hanging on his back while the linebacker is plugging the middle. So there's nowhere for him to run, and he's getting frustrated.
2nd down and 10. Keep your eye on Russell Zimmerman at the top of your screen. Barnes is the player in the wingback position, and they pitch it out and nothing doing this time for Jones. Jones might have lost the ball, and he did. Westgate's got it. Coming away with the football is Torrance Benjamin, the big senior, and Rummel is denied again.
And he's taking it all the way to the sideline with him and handing it to the closest umpire on the sidelines here. So right here, watch the penetration.
Oh, big hit.
Unbelievable penetration for that Westgate Tiger defense. And
Virginal came in and
laid it. He laid him out, and the ball was just never secured. And we just talked about these young guys being able to hang on to the football in these tough conditions, and right there, he was not able to hang on to the football. Turnover.
So each team has now turned it over once, and Westgate has it at its own 23-yard line. And a flag flies. Delay a game or illegal substitution? Or illegal substitution is the penalty. Well, the pressure is on now, Joe. You can start to feel it. You got 5:08 left to go in this third quarter, as we'll hear from Johnny Bird.
Dead ball, illegal substitution, 12 men on the field on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, a couple of plays ago, they only had 10 men on the field, and they had to burn a timeout. Now they had 12 men on the field, and it cost them 5 yards.
You know, we're sitting here complaining about how cold it is, but I don't see those NFL referee costumes on these guys with the long pants and the thick.
Yeah.
Those guys must be freezing.
They're from Shreveport. They're used to this.
Oh. Gets cold in Shreveport?
Yes, it does. Of course, Brian Fine, the head coach at Westgate, coached at Farmerville, and he told me before the game, hey, I've been through this before.
Yeah, farmers don't get cold.
First down and 15 now. Malvo better hold on to that football. He loses a yard or two. And Philip Helmstetter, the senior, he's saying, I want to play one more week. Makes the tackle there.
Right here on your Sterling replay. Malvo luckily hangs onto the football right there. And a good tackle by that Rummel defense. Great pursuit of the football. But if you hear any funny things going on in the booth, it's me and Jeff doing calisthenics to try to keep warm. So we apologize for that.
Second down and 15. Malvo dots the I. 2 wide receivers. And they're keeping on the ground to Antoine, only a yard or two.
Little dive play by the fullback right there. Just an easy A-gap rush. Didn't pick up a whole bunch of yards. And looks like Antoine getting up a little slow. He's taking a pounding inside against that big Rummel defensive front.
John Bertucci, junior defensive lineman, makes the tackle. Second down and 14 for Westgate. Spencer throws deep, and the pass, it slipped out of his hands, and it's intercepted. Intercepted on the play by number 27, and he can take it to the house. That is Ben Jefferson. Touchdown, Rummel. Oh, what a big play as the ball just slipped out of Spencer's hands right into Ben Jefferson's breadbasket, and he goes into the end zone for the touchdown.
You know, Spencer's not a big guy, 5'9", 165 pounds. He just doesn't have the hand size to hang on to a wet football. That ball just got away from him. That's a tough throw. It was never open downfield in the first place. You'd like to see him tuck that ball down and get it, pick up some positive yards with his legs, but right there, just a really poor pass. Small hands hurting, wet football hurting, turnover, touchdown.
Important extra point is good. And Rummel has its first lead of the night. It comes on a defensive play, which is not a surprise with how this Rummel team has played all season long. 7-6 left to go. 7-6. 3:44 left to go in the third quarter as we come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Fact.
Average cost for a semester of college?
$10,000. At Our Lady of the Lake College,
About $4,000.
but with tops
Only $2,600. Get ready for life.
at Our Lady of the Lake College.
De Madera Interiors is the most unique furniture store in Acadiana. We offer quality, handcrafted pieces from across the globe. Come in to view our newly stocked showroom. Dining tables, TV consoles, beds, accent pieces, sofas, and so much more. Need a custom design piece? Our design team can help you create one-of-a-kind furniture that's perfect for your dream living space. For a full home decor makeover, let De Madera Interiors be your makeover destination.
Fact.
Earn more with a bachelor's degree.
Choose from 25 areas of study.
Get financial assistance.
And then
Get ready for life.
at Our Lady of the Lake College.
The complexion of this game has changed after the 27-yard interception return by Ben Jefferson. 3rd down and long. Westgate decides to go to the air. Spencer loses the grasp of that football as he was trying to throw it, and now Westgate's offense, they having trouble handling this football, and it's going to be a huge loss. Westgate just couldn't get anything going there. Fred Joseph got hammered on the play at the 11-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines for a Louisiana Dairy Board sideline report.
Well, Jeff, in pregame warm-ups, I was watching Dante Spencer throw that ball around. And as a matter of fact, Coach Fine was standing right next to me. He threw a pass, it wobbled just like that. I kind of looked right at Coach Fine. He gave me a look kind of like, a nod of his head. I thought he wasn't going to throw the ball at all with Spencer this game. But apparently they needed to try to mix it up on the field. Maybe they'll stick to the run now. I guess so.
Well, they're only down by 1, so no need to panic. 1st and 10 at the 12. But now you got to go up against a very stingy Rummel defense. Only a yard there for Malvo.
Well, you say that they've got to maintain their composure. Well, they've already lost their composure. You saw that on the kickoff return. Not fielding the football correctly. The wrong guy fields the football, lets it hit the ground. The ball should never hit the ground in the first place. You come up, field that football, and you get a nice running catch, and you can start moving up the field. There's no reason to let that football hit. Once it hit, then he almost fumbles the ball on the hit. They're very fortunate to have hung on to the football and that they have the football.
2nd down and 10 at the 13. Shotgun formation now. Spencer with Malvo in the backfield with them, and they hand it off to Malvo. Malvo, they try a little trap play there, and they only get a couple yards to the 16.
Well, delay handoff right there to Malvo. And Malvo hits the hole hard, but doesn't have the same running space that he had earlier in the first quarter. They're looking back at a few plays that they didn't score on and had the ball inside the 20-yard line twice. Came away with nothing. And their special teams gave them their first 6 points. Now their offense hasn't done much here in the second half. They need to do something with this possession. This is a big 3rd down play. Can't expect Spencer to throw the football. He'll probably hold it and run it himself.
3rd and 7. Spencer does keep it himself. Needs some blocks. But there's Rummel's defense there to make the play. Chris Randall brings him down, and Westgate will have to punt again. And right now, Rummel has the battle of the field position on its side.
Yeah, and you can see the momentum is squarely on their side of the field. And Spencer didn't look like he wanted to mix it up too much with the Rummel defenders. Right here, he looks like he's running hard. His wide receivers do a poor job blocking. Well, a couple of them did. Then one had one good block, but they didn't do a good job blocking. He didn't want to go toe-to-toe with those guys, and he kind of backpedaled at the last second. Didn't pick up anything.
Segan Virginal to punt. Now again, Westgate doesn't have enough men on the field. They can't be burning too many more timeouts, especially with them trailing by a point. Virginal's got to get it off in a hurry, and he does. No flag as they nearly hit him. Johnson from his own 47. He's very dangerous. Into Westgate territory. Across the 40 to the 35, 25-yard line. There is a flag down as he's finally down inside the 20-yard line, and that Rummel sideline is going crazy. As you see those fans, they've been waiting all night to cheer for something, but this play may be coming back.
Well, Carvin Johnson, a man amongst boys out there, was able to elude a bunch of tacklers. However, the block in the back is going to cost them big, and fortunately for Westgate, Rummel will be backed up close to the 50-yard line.
The flag is at the 40.
Block in the back on the receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
So the ball will be at midfield for Rummel to start offense.
That will back it up all the way to the 50-yard line. Well, this is where Westgate's defense needs to come up with a turnover, Joe.
Now, they've played excellent defense at this point. The only thing Rummel's had going for them here in the second half was the passing attack. They still can't run the football, but Virginal has to do better in covering Zimmerman.
Well, it will be interesting to see. Now, Wildcat formation if Rummel will keep throwing it. They keep it with Brown here, and he's got some room to run.
He's got a first down to the 35 and then shoved out of bounds at the 30-yard line, a pickup of 20 yards. Tyler Jackson finally caught up to him, but a huge run for Ahmad Brown, his longest carry of the night.
Well, the ability of them to throw the football down the field is now starting to open up those running lanes. Ahmad Brown has had zero area to run the football. Looks like he's a little slow right there. He's kind of taking his time, doesn't want to slip. But Ahmad Brown, that's the biggest play tonight for Brown. But you have to look at the passing game that opened up the ability to rush the football here in the second half.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter. Rummel driving, Brown into Wildcat formation. Barnes the fullback. They send a man in motion. They fake the handoff. Brown has it. And only 2 yards that time. Ball comes out loose, I think. Westgate says they have it. There's a scramble for the football. Now the official says that Brown was down as he gets 2 yards. And that may be the final play of this frigid third quarter.
Yeah, right here you see Brown. It's the
same play
Wildcat,
but different direction.
Yeah, well, he did look like he put the ball on the ground, but they were able to get the ball back. Brown did put the ball on the ground, but they were able to get the ball back.
It looks like Rummel will let the clock run. So 12 minutes left in someone's season, 12 minutes for someone to go to the Louisiana Superdome for the first time. We'll take a break. It's now time for our collisions of the week as we look back at last week's thriller between Catholic of New Iberia and Redemptress. Time to recognize our Semper Fi Award winners. First of all, for Rummel, number 41 for them, that is Chris Randall, who missed all of last season because of an injury. He's back this year, and he's played a heck of a football. And then for the Westgate Tigers, the defensive end, Datrin Turner, never missed a day of practice, and he's probably one of the unsung heroes of this Westgate defense. Second down and 8. Play action fake. Williams to the air. He's got all day. Throws it over the middle. Wide open. Oh, no, there is a defender down there. Thought he was going to be wide open as they tried to hit number 11, Russell Zimmerman, but back there defensively was Kendrick Porter.
Yeah, Kendrick Porter came over late. He was on the outside, and then the seam receiver busted open, so he came over for a little help and almost picked this football off. That pass, you have to get that down a little bit lower on those seam patterns. You could see that was open, but he just let it hang up there for a little bit too long, let the defender to come into play.
Didn't see Kendrick Porter with this pole in my face. I'm sitting there looking at Zimmerman wide open, and then Porter comes around this pole.
Unfortunately, nobody that's here can see the pole, but you're right. You have a giant pole right in your face.
Third down and 8. Not to make excuses or anything. Williams rolling out, throws a wobbly duck there, and he misses his intended receiver, J.J. Brown.
Yeah, that was just overthrown. Wouldn't have picked up a first down even if he had completed it. But right here, it's a design rollout, a little fake right there to the halfback, and it's just a rollout. You can see right there the ball flooded away from him.
Fourth down. Let's see what Jay Roth and company decide to do.
You got to go for it.
Yeah.
You're not going to kick it. It's 4th and 2. And, manageable down and distance. You got many things that you can go for here. Ahmad Brown's had some success in this possession rushing the football. But to me, I think you got to let the youngster maybe possibly hang on to it and just kind of run right up the gut with it.
It's actually 4th and 8. Williams back to pass. Under pressure. Feels it. Gets away from it. Still on his feet. Now it looks like he's going to run for it. Needs one man to beat, and he doesn't. Doesn't get it. Good open field tackle
by Sean Benjamin prevents the Rummel first down.
What did I say, 4th and 2?
You said 4th and 2, and he's going to be 2 yards short.
Well, that would be a lot different. 4th and 8, wouldn't it? I'm telling you, man, I can't see a thing up here. I can't see the sticks. I can't see the yard marker. It's a crying shame.
Did you see Damian Williams, though, make something out of nothing?
But I told you they should use his legs in the first place, whether it be 4th and 2 or 4th and 8. They haven't really used his legs tonight. They finally did, and came very close to picking up that first down. Westgate, got to give them credit. They're able to overcome a mistake in the defense and to really fight hard to bring Williams down, not giving up the first down.
Double tight end look for Westgate as they hand it off to Malvo. Malvo looking off the left side, bounces off a couple of tacklers and gets to the 24-yard line before he's hit on the play. And there defensively for Rummel, Chris Randall, our Semper Fi Award winner for Rummel, and Philip Helmstetter, who's been in on virtually every tackle of this second half.
Wow, what a tale of two halves so far. You know, in the first half, it looked like Westgate's offense, their speed could stay with, if not be a little bit faster than that Rummel defensive speed. Here in the second half, Westgate just seems a step slower than Rummel as far as speed and athleticism.
Second down and 8 for Westgate. I formation, Malvo to tailback. And they hand it off and nothing doing there. Denarius Antoine was getting a lot of running room in the first half, but as you mentioned, Joe, Rummel's defense has come to play in the second half. And, you know, even Bobby talked about it in the first half when he was down over at the Rummel sideline, and they were talking about how no one's been able to move the ball against them like Westgate was in the first half.
Yeah, Westgate just came out, smashed him in the face a little bit, and it looks like it woke Rummel up here in the second half. And perhaps something Coach Jay Ross said in the halftime really got in their ear and got in their head emotionally.
They fumble the snap, and now Rummel says they have it, waiting for an official call. Raiders football. Another turnover for Westgate, the third of the night for the Tigers, and this one could be a very costly one.
Well, the good thing for Westgate is they're able to play excellent defense right here. Problem with the snap, Spencer is not able to hang on to the football for whatever reason, and Rummel's able to jump on it and get excellent field position up by 1 point here in the fourth quarter. If you're Westgate, you got to keep your head up. You can't get too disappointed in what you're seeing. Know that your defense is going to play well. I think if you're Rummel, though, you got to strike quick. Try another one of those little slant routes. You got your best receiver out there in Corey Murphy. He's an outstanding receiver, but they're doubling up on him right now.
Pass a little bit too high for the intended receiver as he was trying to hit Max Smith, the senior tight end.
Well, the reason why they had to go to the tight end is Corey Murphy on the outside, number 15, who's their leading receiver, was double covered, had man low, man high, not going to be able to complete the ball to him. But right now, the ball is just sailing on the young quarterback. Right there, you get a good look at number 17, Damian Williams, just a freshman. On the season has completed less than 50% of his passes, 3 touchdowns, but what he doesn't do is turn the football over. Only 2 interceptions on the season.
Ahmad Brown, the tailback. And he gets to carry off the right side. He's got a little seam, and he gets up to the 20. Gets about 3, third down and 7. They would really like to get a touchdown here. A field goal, I mean, it helps. Obviously, it puts them up by 4, but a touchdown could be very tough for Westgate to not only get into the end zone, but then try to convert a 2-point conversion.
Well, it's almost as if these teams change uniforms at halftime. And what you're seeing right here in the second half is what Westgate was able to do in the first half, move the ball inside the 20s. And right now, Rummel's playing on Westgate's side of the field with the turnovers. So far, so good for Westgate, able to hold them to no points except for the touchdown on the first drive.
Third down and 6, and a gaping hole for J.J. Brown. Does he have enough for a first down? He's very close.
I think he's going to be a little bit short, but what that's going to do is bring up a big fourth down again for Rummel. Do you kick the football and go ahead and go up by 4 points and eliminate the field goal, or do you go for it and try to maintain possession, milk the clock a little bit more? But I still think that this is a little bit short, and it's going to be fourth down. If you're Rummel, I think you got to go for it in these conditions.
They are going to measure it. Segan Virginal came in there and made a big-time hit on J.J. Brown to keep Brown from getting a clear and convincing first down, and he may have stopped him just shy of the first down marker.
Well, the Rummel players seem to think that he got it, but
No,
I
he
don't think
don't
he
have
did. He's a little short.
So just inches.
You go for that. You go for that. You don't even bring the field goal team out. You go for it. You don't even think twice about it. If you can't get an inch, you don't deserve to win.
4th and a couple inches. You're right about that, Joe. And the clock could become a factor here very soon as we're underneath 9 minutes to go.
Well, and that's another thing. Even if you don't get it, you still continue to milk the clock quite a bit, and then you make Westgate go 82 yards to beat you because, yeah, they have a good field goal kicker, but you cannot trust a kicker in these conditions. Just too hard. This is not Adam Vinatieri, okay? This is a high school kicker in the semifinals in a snowstorm, and you don't want to put that kind of pressure on a kicker.
Quarterback sneak, nice play by Rummel, and then he fumbled it, and he looks like Westgate's defense is going to come up with the stand unless they give him forward progress.
No, he had forward progress, but once you fumble the ball, forward progress is over with.
Westgate's football as they come up with a huge stand, and their defense needed to do something to change the momentum. Interesting play there by Rummel. They never set on the play, just the center, and
but the strange thing is he has it, and then he just loses it at the last second. He looks like he was just trying to change the football over, but somehow it popped out. It was almost as if Williams, and he's down right now. Williams is down.
Williams, the quarterback, is hurt. Torrance Benjamin able to strip that football away. Second turnover of the night as they look at the right leg of Damian Williams.
And looks like his lower ankle there. They're grabbing at it. But that might be the reason why he fumbled it. If he kind of twisted something, it takes your attention away from holding on to the football quite a bit.
We'll take a quick break on the Cox Ford Game of the Week. Westgate has it when we come back.
When you see this, you're going to save a ton of this. But you don't have much of this. So hurry to your Super Chevy dealer's giant year-end red tag event going on right now. Get $4,500 cash back on brand new Silverados and Tahoes, or get $500 cash back and get 0% for 72 months. Plus, get rock-bottom red tag prices on every new Chevy at your Super Chevy dealers today.
Rummel leading Westgate 7-6. We got a score update from Rain. Notre Dame leading Catholic 43-0, Joe. I would have never thought Catholic would have 0 tonight.
Well, look at the weather. I mean, their game is throwing the football, and we don't know what happened. How's Bullock playing?
Yeah.
And there goes my theory of the upset.
I tell you what, that's not a good sight if you're a Rummel fan to see Damian Williams getting carried off the football field like that.
But they've got Luke Cortozo. Luke Cortozo was their original quarterback for the beginning, the starting quarterback for the early in the season. He got hurt, so it's not like they have to bring someone that's inexperienced. They actually are bringing in someone that's more experienced, just not in the semifinals. And Williams has been iced so far throughout the playoffs in this season, coming in off the bench for the injured Luke.
Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers for Westgate. 1st and 10 at the 16. Spencer keeps it himself, and he gets hammered on the play. Flag flies as Chris Randall throws Spencer down like a rag doll.
Boy, they just play excellent defense. I mean, they're so disciplined at the point of attack. You know, nobody tries to do anybody else's job. They do what they're supposed to do, and there's just no lanes for Westgate to run the football right here in the second half.
A legal formation as Westgate's offense is just stuck in neutral. And you've said it a couple times in the second half, Joe. It's like the two teams changed. I mean, Westgate's
illegal
offense.
motion on the offense. Penalties decline, 2nd down.
Westgate's offense was able to move the chains throughout the first half, and Rummel's offense couldn't do nothing. Now it's Westgate's offense that can't do anything. As the snow is really coming down here at the Frozen Swamp.
And the most frustrating thing about it is you look up at the scoreboard, you're down by a point.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is just move the ball a little bit, and you put yourself in position to win the game.
You're not moving it against this Rummel defense right now. Carvin Johnson and John Bertucci blew that play up, and it's 3rd down and 10. They're going to have to open it up, Joe, and I know Coach Brian Fine is a little worried because when he tried to open it up, Spencer throws the interception, and Rummel returns it for a touchdown, but the running game is not working.
Yeah, well, you need to find something.
A reverse or something to get you going.
You got to come up with something, a gimmick, something to possibly try to weaken that Rummel secondary because they're cheating the line of scrimmage. I mean, they've got 9 guys in the box, and they're not concerned about the passing game at all. You've got to be able to throw the football to loosen them up.
3rd and 10. Spencer trying to keep it. He fumbles the football. Rummel looks like they got it. Waiting for an official call here.
I think Westgate got back on that football. I thought Spencer pulled that football
and he
back
did.
in.
Spencer somehow got that football, or if it wasn't him, then it was Trey Pellerin, the offensive lineman for Westgate.
You know, a screen pass. Look how aggressive that Rummel defense is. You got to find a screen pass, something to kind of slow down that defense, keep them from playing on your side of the line of scrimmage. And, you know, it's almost as if they don't have that play in their playbook because that would definitely slow down this Rummel defense a little bit just so you could make them play you a little bit more honest.
Virginal the punt, and not a good one. As the conditions continue to worsen here at Cajun Field. Once again, the Cox Ford Game of the Week brought to you by on this snowy night, the U.S. Marine Corps, and also Farm Bureau Insurance. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love, and Borden's, a tradition since 1857. And once again, want to thank Domino's for supplying the pregame meal to our crew tonight. And kudos to our crew for hanging in there on a frigid night. Rummel has the ball now at the Westgate 33-yard line. Cartozo is in at quarterback, and he hands it off, and they pick up a yard or two. Westgate's defense needs to force a turnover as Brown had the carry that time.
Yeah, Cartozo, we talked about it earlier, was the original starting quarterback for this football team, and 500 yards passing, 6 touchdowns on the season before he got hurt in Week 8. And he's a good quarterback. He's somebody that can be dangerous. He can make this offense go. What you worry about as a coach is you don't want to change anything. You don't want to disrupt the success that you've had at this point. But right now, you don't have a choice. So great opportunity for Cartozo to get back in there with his team and be that quarterback that he was before his injury.
Zimmerman in motion to hand off to Brown. Westgate, though, comes in and seals it up. And then hit from behind Sean Benjamin, and they lose a couple of yards. That snow is starting to stick out there. Let's go down to the sidelines. Bobby Taylor with the Louisiana Dairy Board sideline report.
Yeah, Jeff, just a quick update on Damian Williams, quarterback for Rummel. He's on the sideline. They're going to re-wrap his ankle. He looked like he had it wrapped before, but he tweaked it a little bit more. I doubt the probability of him returning to this game. Like Joel said, they had another quarterback who started the season, so don't look for Damian Williams anymore tonight.
As we approach the 5-minute mark, 3rd down and 8, and that's a tough break for a freshman who's played pretty well. Zimmerman in motion. Hand off Brown. Brown hit as no one blocked. Sean Benjamin, he came in there and laid a lick, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, last couple plays, Sean Benjamin showed up from his linebacker position and played outstanding to create negative yards for that Rummel offense. Look at him just coming off the edge, and Ahmad Brown has nowhere to go. And then you clean it up, number 44, right up the middle, Reginald Charles, who's been an outstanding football player for this Westgate defense all season long. Between the two of them, difficult to run up the middle.
4th down, let's see what Rummel does. Looks like they're going for it as Cartozo still out on the field.
See, I don't understand that. Why not punt the football in this position and back Westgate up?
Timeout Rummel.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, you got to punt this football. Westgate's inability to move the football, try to get the ball down inside the 10-yard line and maybe create a turnover. Game over.
We'll take a quick break on the Cox Ford Game of the Week.
Traveling the road of auto insurance can be tricky, and when all signs point to no, one sign points to yes. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we're here to help you with life's twists and turns. With affordable auto insurance rates and dependable local service, Farm Bureau can make sure you're on the right track, because life doesn't come with directions. We can show you the way. Farm Bureau Insurance, your life made simpler.
We're back at snowy Cajun Field. Jeff Palermo, Jill Davis, and Bobby Taylor. Semifinals. Rummel trying to hold on in
Holy
the ice.
cow. Look at that. What is that?
And Rummel will go for it.
See, hey, they may have some great play, but why in the world would you want to give Westgate the ball
Well,
if you don't get
if
on
you're
the
concerned,
30-yard
you're
line?
concerned possibly of a block punt, a bad snap, maybe just a conservative play here. Let's see. Well, they're going to throw. The left-hander throws, and it is complete. Complete on the plate. It's enough for a first down. Corey Murphy makes the grab. What a great call by Jay Roth and the Rummel Raiders.
I knew you'd say it. I knew you'd say it. Outstanding play call by Jay Roth, the experienced quarterback. Now you can see why they don't worry about bringing this guy in off the bench.
What a throw. What a throw.
Well, they threw it to their leading wide receiver, Corey Murphy. I mean, he's been clutch all season long. He's got great size, 6'2", 185 pounds, has good speed, but he just ran the defender off. Great throw by Cartozo, and he delivered a strike.
Now Westgate has to think about using its timeouts. They got 2 left.
I would have never punted that football.
Brown gets the carry, picks up a yard. And the snow is really coming down at this point, Joe.
Yeah, it sure is. Absolutely.
They don't call you the best color man in the business, Joe. You're not a weatherman, that's for sure.
I am not a meteorologist, but what I can tell you is whatever that is, whatever that stuff is, it's cold and it's wet and it's white. Look at it.
In the history of record keeping for the National Weather Service, this is the earliest snowfall in history.
What's that?
This is the earliest snowfall ever in history for this part of the state. Second out and
read that?
It's out there.
Okay.
They're in the Red Bull red zone. Ahmad Brown, only a yard or two, and he was tackled on the play right away. Flag, too, flies in there.
Now, you can definitely see the flags on that white field. Really stand out, don't they? But right now, Rummel with a real risky play earlier on 4th down to pick up that first down was huge.
To your defense, Joel, Redemptress was in the same spot last week, and at that time you said punt the football.
Yeah.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty.
And you know I love going for it.
Yeah, you said
I'm a
punt
big
the
proponent
football.
of going for it.
Redemptress went for it. They didn't get it, and it gave Catholic excellent field position.
Right.
And they ended up marching down the field and scoring a touchdown. It didn't give them excellent field position, but it gave them the ball at about the 30, 35-yard line. So we saw it one way work, backfire, or maybe they should have punted the football to try to pin Catholic back inside its 10.
Yeah.
So either way you look at it, but it was a great play call for Rummel.
Look at this. When's the last time you saw Raging Cajuns in Louisiana covered in snow? That's crazy looking.
3rd down and 10. Rummel trying to work as much time off that clock as possible, up by 1. And then he fumbled the football. He never came away with the center. Westgate motioning, they got it. As this game getting really sloppy now. And it is Tigers football. And Westgate has a pulse.
Now let's look back. If you'd have punted the football,
come on.
Rummel Westgate could possibly have the football inside the 10-yard line. But no, you went for it. You got it. You had negative plays. Now you give Westgate the ball on the 30-yard line. Let me tell you something. These two teams, the best defense is not their offense, okay? You punt the football, put their deep offenses out on the field, because 9 times out of 10, these two offenses tonight against these good defenses are going to find a way to mess it up. This is an opportunity for Westgate to find their rhythm and get something going offensively. Spread them out and move the ball down the field with a quick passing game.
1st and 10 at the 31. They run the option, and no.
No, says number 31, Miles O'Brien. They lose 6 yards, and they got to hurry up.
Not the way you want to start your winning drive with a big loss. And, you know, I just think that you got to try to throw the ball out there in the flats. Give those guys with speed an opportunity to beat those smaller corners out on the edge. They have got to try to find the way to get the ball out on the edge away from those quick linebackers of Rummel.
2nd and 16. Malvo in motion. Spencer keeps it out in space. If he can break a couple tackles, he may have something here. And then thrown down at the 33-yard line by Michael Langley. Brings up 3rd down and 8. 1 minute and 35 seconds and counting. He talks to Brian Fine, who gives him the play call.
Now that was their opportunity. It was a little breakdown on their defense, but it all started with this man, Deontay Spencer, who was able to create something on his own. Really no blocking downfield to speak of for him, but if he could have gotten away right there from Langley, he had a bunch of yards to pick up. Unfortunately for Westgate, he wasn't able to do it.
3rd down and 8. Oh, and Spencer just lost the football, and he's down for a huge loss. A huge loss as Miles O'Brien came in there. And with the field conditions deteriorating, that ball so slick, Spencer just can't handle it.
Well, the bottom line is Deontay Spencer is a little guy. He's not a big guy. He's about 5'9". That might be stretching it. And he has small hands. If you have small hands, it's very difficult to hang on to an icy ball. It's not like he's got Jamarcus Russell hands where the ball it's like throwing a tennis ball.
Yeah.
It's so hard for this young man. There's no grip to that football at all. And when your hands are small, you can see he's just trying to shot put it out there to a receiver. That tells you right now why they haven't been able to throw the football in this game. And it starts with Deontay Spencer. He just doesn't have the physical tools in these kind of conditions to throw the football. The way he's been able to win this season is with his legs. Unfortunately for Westgate tonight, Rummel's defense has just been outstanding and totally limited him to be able to function on his legs as well as his feet.
Ben Jefferson's interception for a touchdown right now is the winning score along with Raziano's extra point.
Well,
4th down and a long way to go. 4th down and about 20. Jay Roth looking for his first trip to the state championship game after 15 seasons for Rummel.
And they've got Malvo in there going to throw the football.
Malvo rolling out. This is it for Westgate. And he is out of bounds. Miles O'Brien, and now they're going to say a face mask penalty, and they do.
That's going to be a 1st down unless they give him 5 yards.
Malvo was motioning right away that was a face mask penalty. Miles O'Brien grabbed him around the helmet, so hold off on the celebration just yet for Rummel.
Just a 5-yard penalty. It won't give him a 1st down, but it will give him another opportunity to throw the football.
So the officials will sort it out. It gives Westgate another life for now.
Well, you know why they've got Malvo in there. They feel like he's able to get the ball down the field better than Deontay Spencer in these conditions.
5-yard face mask on the defense from the spot into the run. Replay 4.
All right, so they just 5 yards.
Well, he still actually lost a yard from where he was earlier.
Yeah.
He lost 6 yards on the sack. The flag gives him 5, so they're still 1 yard further away than they were on the previous play. So Malvo's still in there. Expect him to try to find one of those seams and one of those receivers down the field.
5 wide receivers for Westgate. 4 men rushing for Rummel. Malvo running, and there he is again. Miles O'Brien, and he throws it at the last second, but it's incomplete, and it's Rummel's football, and the Raiders appear to be headed to the state championship game.
Well, Malvo is not a quarterback. He paid too much attention to the rush, never looked downfield to try to throw the football. He never gave his team a chance because he was too concerned with the rush. You can't blame the young man. He gave everything he had tonight. The conditions just did not play in favor of them getting the ball down the field in their passing game.
You have to feel bad for Westgate.
Well, somebody had to lose this football game.
Yeah.
Both of them played outstanding defensively tonight. Unfortunately, their offenses struggled.
Victory formation for Rummel and for Jay Roth. 15 seasons at the helm. A lot of near misses, including 2006 when they lost 7-0 to Sulphur. His team, as they call it, delay a game on Rummel. That doesn't really bother him too much. The Raiders will have the opportunity to play in the Louisiana Superdome for the state championship.
And when you're a football team and you're going to a state championship, nothing better than to kneel on the ball.
Here is the key play of this game. Spencer loses the football as he's throwing it. It's up for grabs, and right there is Ben Jefferson, who takes it in for a touchdown, a 31-yard interception return. And that Rummel sideline, they are going nuts. Under 20 seconds left to go. The Raiders are storming the field. That is the football game, and they are doing snow angels out on the field. The Rummel Raiders have finally found that treasure, a berth to the state championship game. Congratulations to Coach Jay Roth, and heartbreak for the Westgate Tigers.
Yeah, the bad thing, yeah, they're excited. They should be. They're going to a state championship, but those poor guys are going to be so cold on that bus on the way home after rolling around in that snow. Congratulations to Rummel. This is a team that has played outstanding defense all season long, and what better way to get their final win in the playoffs than a defensive touchdown? They've been leading on them all year long. Why not in the semifinals as well?
14 wins, a school record for Rummel. And I don't know, if you're Westgate, this is going to take a while to get over. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to the winning head football coach, Jay Roth. No doubt about it, with the team that he has, definitely could be the coach of the year in Class 5A. We'll take a break, and we'll continue with the Cox 4 Game of the Week after this.
A woman's life never stands still. So we're reaching out to provide unmatched care for women in all the places your life takes you. Oxnard Women, 7 hospitals and over 35 health centers, working together to provide specialized care for every age, stage, and condition of a woman's life. From New Orleans and Baton Rouge to the North Shore and the Bayou, Oxnard Women, everywhere you need us.
Hello, I'm Eric Edwards with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out now what's going on in Livingston Parish. We have over 400 nautical miles of waterways. Tee it up at our great world-renowned golf courses. Shop at our antique districts, or come to Bass Pro, our #1 retailer. There's a lot to do in Livingston Parish that you never imagined. It's all happening right here in Livingston Parish. For more information, go online at visitlivingstonparish.com.
The Rummel Raiders are heading to the state championship game. Let's go down to the field for Louisiana Dairy Board sideline report. Bobby Taylor has the winning head football coach, Jay Roth.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, Coach, first time in school history, right?
Somebody was going to do it tonight, and luckily it was us. Like I told Coach Fine, it's a fitting end to 2 good defensive football teams as a 7-6 game.
I noticed a lot of your players coming over, giving hugs, saying, "Hey, Coach, we did it." I guess talk a little bit about the emotional side of it.
Well, I mean, it's very emotional. It's our first time getting there. We knew at halftime we had to come out and do something. Offense generated some drives. We had 1 call back. We gave them a long field the whole second half, and it's credit to our defense.
You pulled a trick on me there coming out of halftime. I asked you if you were going to change anything. You said you were going to keep it the same, Coach. You guys came out and passed it that second half.
If we didn't throw the ball, we lose 6-0, okay? We had to get them back a little bit.
And just talk a little bit about your defense. Completely shut down Westgate's offense in the second half.
We're in the state championship because of our defense. We've given up less than 8 points a game for 14 games. Offense does just enough. Tonight, defense scored and won the game for us.
All right, well, congratulations, Coach, and get ready for a tough game. Well, there you have it, Jeff.
Rummel will play the winner of tonight's game between West Monroe and Catholic, but the Raiders, the top seed in 5A, holds on tonight at Cajun Field 7-6. We'll take a break. More when we come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Traveling the road of auto insurance can be tricky. And when all signs point to no, one sign points to yes. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we're here to help you with life's twists and turns. With affordable auto insurance rates and dependable local service, Farm Bureau can make sure you're on the right track. Because life doesn't come with directions. We can show you the way. Farm Bureau Insurance. Your life made simpler.
De Madera Interiors is the most unique furniture store in Acadiana. We offer quality, handcrafted pieces from across the globe. Come in to view our newly stocked showroom. Dining tables, TV consoles, beds, accent pieces, sofas, and so much more. Need a custom design piece? Our design team can help you create one-of-a-kind furniture that's perfect for your dream living space. For a full home decor makeover, let De Madera Interiors be your makeover destination.
I'm all about being close to the things that I love. My friends, my phone, and definitely my milk. Which is why I'm all about Borden. It's made locally in my hometown and close to yours. That means I don't have to drive it very far. Which is good for the planet and even better for the taste buds. Being close means it's super fresh and seriously delicious. Tell Mom to look for Elsie. If it's Borden, it's got to be good.
The celebration is just beginning on the field. The Rummel Raiders, they made it a trip all the way from Metairie, and it was a well-worth-earned trip for Rummel as they defeated the Westgate Tigers tonight in snowy conditions, and the weather really played a big role in this game, Joe.
Yeah, it did for the broadcast team as well. There's no question about it. And you sent me an email yesterday and told me to dress warm. And
yeah.
I didn't take it. No, I didn't. I didn't put the long johns on. I wish we could do it all over again because I'm sure it would have been a much better broadcast. However, there's an idea of someone that is going to be completely miserable and about, oh, well, look, it's one of our camera crew. He's got the...
There you go. That is Dwayne Thomas.
Well, at least he's got a raincoat on. Is that a bare hand in the snow? He's absolutely out of his mind, ladies and gentlemen. What an outstanding football game tonight. The Rummel Raiders came into this football team with a defense that gave up less than 7 points a game all season long, and he nailed it. You know, we talked about it at halftime. This is a team that wasn't able to do anything offensively in the first half. They weren't able to run the football, and we said that they needed to find a way to get the ball down the field, and they did that. And it opened things up for them in the pass game, and it opened up things for them in the running game, and they were able to get the touchdown that was so needed. But it was called back, but then the defense got the touchdown, the winning touchdown.
Ben Jefferson's 31-yard interception return for a touchdown is the winning score. Westgate scored its points on a block punt as Denarius Antoine recovered a block punt that Malcolm Landry got on, and that was the only scoring. No offensive touchdowns here tonight. Kind of what we expected on a frigid night in Cajun Field. While we have a few minutes, we have to thank everyone that has been a part of the Cox 4 Game of the Week, and it's been another fantastic season. First of all, the crew over at Cox 4, Jason Ferret, Eric Coleman, Jimmy Frederick, our producer of the Cox 4 Game of the Week, Kim Giat, director Kenny Mouton, audio and replay, Derek Chapman, a Cox box operator, Chris Zagara, our camera operators, Dustin Smith, Natalie Kingston, Luke Andrus, Cody Thomas, Trevor Thomas, Dwayne Thomas, and Cody Bordelon. The microwave truck operator, he's one of the best in the business, David Bernard of Total Video. The master control operator back at the Cox Communication Studios, Mike Mann. Special thanks to Julie Ramey and Corrine. And it's been a fantastic season, Joe. We've seen the playoffs were fabulous. Last week's game is an instant classic. This game, people will be talking about for a long time. A 1-point game, and Rummel heads to the state championship. Glad we could be a part of your Friday nights and your weekends. We hope you have enjoyed the season. Any final thoughts, Joe?
I'm just so fortunate to be a part of this broadcast and to be a part of the Cox 4 team and what Cox 4 does for high school football. Yeah. And, you know, I don't think that it would be done without Cox 4, and I don't think it would be done without Jimmy Frederick and what he's done for this program over the years. And for what you do, Jeff, You were the man tonight because I don't know about you, but I got the reddest nose, and it's because I feel like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we are not in this nice little booth or anything like that. We are in an ice box. We're trying to broadcast this game to you in an ice box, and I'm just proud of you, brother, to be able to read off what you just read because right now my eyes are glazed over and I can't read.
We'll get you into some warmth. We also got to thank our sideline reporter Bobby Taylor. His first year with us on the Cox 4 Game of the Week, did a fantastic job all season long. So if you liked what you've seen this year on high school football, head down to the Louisiana Superdome next weekend. Check out some of the games, the 2A, 3A games Friday night, the 1A, 4A, 5A. As you look at Bobby Taylor, he's saying, wrap this thing up, I'm freezing. We'll get there.
Me too.
We'll get there here in just a short bit. But it's been a fantastic year. Got to thank all the schools, the principals, the head coaches, Brian Fine at Westgate. Thank you for allowing us to televise tonight's game. Again, the final score from the frozen swamp at Cajun Field on the campus of the University of Louisiana, the Rummel Raiders, for the first time ever, heading to the state championship game as they defeat the Westgate Tigers 7-6. Happy holidays, everyone. Good night, and we'll see you soon.